Welcome, everybody, to Crunch Time with Jeff, Booner, Lukas, and Gentry.
Full squad, baby.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm excited. We got a packed show. Hey, after last night's show, mental health check-in. Feeling good.
You all right?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. It's a Friday show. It's a feel-good Friday. And we got rookie minicamp. Tried to get John Macaroon. He's busy. All right, and I respect him. The man grinds. So we're going to go through some of what he put out and some of the information I have currently that's been available all over social media with just minicamp in general. And I can't wait to get into it, Boone. We got a packed show. Most of it rookie minicamp, and we'll get into some Alex Anzalone stuff in the second hour. But, hey, how are we feeling today?
Feel great. A lot of information, a lot of things coming out of the mini camp today. It's fine. Like there's like football. It's like some sort of football. We talk about it all the time, and there's something that happened. I feel good though. Yesterday's show was unbelievable. Everything we talked about yesterday, we just all got into heated argument and we're yelling back and forth. I'm ready to go though. The Booner Path. I mean, we're absolutely buzzing right now. Arnold, Antione Rakestraw, Vaki, Sione Vaki, Gio Manu, all the boys out there.
That to you.
I apologize. Why can't I say Giovani? Why?
That's how he likes Gio.
He likes Gio? He said, okay. Hey, the good thing about us doing a show the day of minicamp is we all, and it's the same thing. When we ran socials at the old place, it's like you can only see so much of the internet and so much of what's happening. When you talk to other, I did not see that. So thank you for letting me know.
I know, in all seriousness, that's something I saw today that he likes to be called Gio. And I said it in the rookie minicamp breakdown I did today, which you guys can go check out. It's on our channel. A lot of people are liking it. We got a lot of new subscribers, so that's great. We're chasing 10,000 subscribers. So tell a friend to tell a friend. But before we get into Gio Manu, because there are a lot of quotes just from really him and Sione Vaki, which I do have something very, very
starting that again.
I do. No, I love it. We do have something about Sione Vaki that I want to tell the people that Ragnu said that I think you guys are gonna maybe like or not like, but I think it's a great comment and I think it's very interesting. We'll get to that later, but we'll start with some of the new numbers. Because guys got their official numbers, and you guys, if you've been paying attention to social media, you kind of seen who has new numbers. But these are the official numbers of the rookie class. So check this out. Arnold got 0. I think he's going with the Agent Zero theme.
I love it.
So, hey, Antione Rakestraw 15, Sione Vaki 33, 59 for Gio Manu. See, I'm messing it up too, Boone. Christian Mahogany 73 and Makai Wingo 94. I like that 0 on Arnold.
Yeah, I saw some people don't like that Packers guy, by the way. Absolutely brutal football mind, the Packers guy. He tried to go at him for picking 0. Is he the first Detroit Lion to wear 0, or am I just blanking on this?
No, Swift wore 0, didn't he?
Did he?
Oh, no, 32. I'm stupid. No,
yeah, 32. No, I think because they just opened up.
Someone did.
Because last year, I think was the first year NFL players could wear 0, and I don't know if we had. I
think last year someone wore 0.
Marvin Jones.
That's
Marvin Jones. Marv did. Yeah. Marv. Yeah, shout out Marv, too. Great guy. Yeah, Marvin Jones.
Was 32.
He was the first guy to ever do it, though, because I'm pretty sure they just kind of opened that up last year, and Marv was the first one to do it. So
what a time that was. The Marvin Jones Jr., the character arc there in Detroit.
Great dude too, by the way. I felt bad everything how it went down and people going at him that he missed a catch and fumble. I liked Marvin Jones. I'm a fan. And I met him. He knew who I was. Oh, Booner? Yeah. Well, hey, nice to meet you. How often does a player just know who Booner is? He just said Booner? It was unbelievable.
Yeah, he seems like that type of guy. He seems super down to earth. I wanted to also bring up that Dan Campbell was not at rookie minicamp due to personal reasons. I also think there is more to that. I don't know. It's when you see personal reasons, and I'll pull this up. And it's weird. It's from the Free Press, but this account who tweeted it was, it's not the Detroit Times, but you get what it's basically like an outlet.
Yeah,
that someone made, and they tweeted this out. And I think the personal reasons, I'm not exactly sure, I saw that he's also building a house in Grosse Pointe.
I would hope that's not the reason.
I
He's
don't
just
think that's the
building a
reason.
house. No, yeah, I like how you're connecting that together. Though.
Yeah,
Hopefully, if we're being honest, hopefully everything's okay. Like if it's a bad thing, hopefully all of his family and everything, like there's nothing serious going on. You would hope, because when you usually hear like someone's gone for personal reasons, you usually right away you think something bad. Maybe it's something good. I don't know if he has like kids that are getting married, or you would think they would plan around that, but hopefully it's not something like bad. Hopefully it's like an event that's like a good event to, I don't know. You know what I mean? Trying to look at it as a positive light here. Because what's gonna,
or it's probably a funeral.
Dan taking Dan Campbell away from football, like that just doesn't happen. So I don't know if it's like a close family wedding or a funeral or what it is, but hopefully it's nothing too bad. Hopefully him and his family.
I mean, Bon Jay could be a kid graduating. I think
Yeah.
it could be a funeral. I think that's probably it would make sense. It wouldn't be a bad thing.
I
Brian
mean,
also says he'd be back at OTAs May 21st. So
yeah, it's because the mini camp is 3 days. It's literally Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So something must have came up to where it's like, hey, he cannot miss it, and he had to go to wherever he was doing. Hopefully, again, it's like a graduation or something, and it's not a funeral or anything for anyone in his family. Prayers though.
Yeah, I don't. That's MCDC is always positive. I don't want nothing bad to happen to that man. Even the Lucas thing. I know he's joking. About to see a single Dan on the sideline.
Yeah, no, I'm not. We're not bringing that up. We're not going to be the show that starts any like crazy rumors. We're all positive with Dan Campbell over here.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak on that. I don't know anything about his personal life. I think I brought up on the show one time jokingly that I fell for a clickbait headline that got me.
You did.
And I'm like, I didn't bring it up on the show like legitimately, but I'm like, yeah, it was weird. I saw it was like a random website with like, it looked like one of us could have made it. And it was like Dan Campbell to divorce his wife. I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? I mean, this is just fake news. I can't confirm that. But you know what's not fake news is Antione Rakestraw and Terran Arnold's relationship, because Booner, they're tight. And that's a great thing. Those two, that's the future of that cornerback room. The future. Your future CB1, CB2, as we would assume. And it's funny because not only are they in the same draft class, they play the same position, but they were drafted the first 2 rounds. So there's a lot of there's a relationship there. Danny Rogers put out a video. It's on our social, which you can check out. Official CT Pod on all social media platforms. TikTok at Official Crunch Time. And check this video out of them having some banter. I feel like we have this once a year where 2 players from the Lions are asking each other questions. It happens every year.
I'm sure it'll happen during training camp again. Yeah. Like it's going to keep happening. I like these videos. I'm a fan.
I love it.
They should at these press conferences, Jeff, they should like have a player, no matter what, there to ask some questions to that player. I think it's like it should be a requirement.
Well, let's check out this clip of the two CBs having some banter here. I thought this was great.
Bring my brother into the cut. They drafted both of us. So I would say us just coming in here and being the young guys and the dynamic, we're going to be here for a long time. We're going to grow together. We're going to excel together, take our losses together, take them on the chin. And I just thank the organization for drafting both of us. My brother right here.
Now, I got a question, though, Terry. So now that you're aligned, like, what's the first thing that you want to do as being in Detroit? Like, have you thought about that yet?
First thing I wanted to do is this, come and practice. So, I mean, that's out the way. Next thing I want to do is catch a pick 6 in the stadium.
I have one more question. Is there any new language that you learned from Detroit yet?
Yeah, I got to go get me some, what's the name of the shades, man? I got to go get me some of them. Yeah, I got to get me some of them. After I catch a pick, I got to put them on, but I got to go get me some of them. That right there.
Are you more comfortable on the left?
I love that. I want to hear the next question. He was going to ask him, are you comfortable on the left side or the right side? It's kind of an interesting question.
Want to know what's going on there? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
I love that already, dude.
I think, to be honest, and I was a big Kool-Aid McKinstry guy because I still am, but I thought he'd be a realistic option. I think Terran would be there. But you saw the relationship they had. Dude, they were so tight. And that's Terran really as a human. He's just he's a good dude. And he is very easy to like. His swagger and his confidence, it comes off. See, there's a difference between, being confident and being arrogant.
Yep.
And there's a very fine line there. And some players are so confident they seem arrogant. Terran is very confident, but not arrogant. He's super, super confident. We'll get to what he said about his mom and their competition in a little bit here. But
Yeah.
dude, this isn't anything new to me, Boone. Dude's
No.
He checks the character box.
He does. Like, for him to ask, hey, what do you want to do in Detroit here? And I'm sure he was just talking about, like, maybe like go get some food, go check something out. And he's like, no, I want to pick 6 at the state. Like, instantly for his mind to go to foot like that once that's Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, dude. Like, instantly just thinking football, pick 6. I want to play football. I'm here to win Super Bowl. Think about this, Jeff. This man in front of like 300,000 people getting drafted in the first round on draft night after projected to go 10 to 17. He drops all the way to 24. Typically, guys are a little like, what's going on, freaking out. He gets drafted by the Lions, the hometown team, goes on the stage, grabs the mic. How many players in the NFL draft would go out there and grab the mic and address the city of Detroit? Probably not a lot. There's probably a handful of players and that was in this last year's draft that would do that. Terrion Arnold being one of those guys that's comfortable enough and confident enough to go out there, grab the mic and say, I want to win a Super Bowl here in this city. And then and I know it's like, yeah, he just had this interview, but like even this interview, him and Rakestraw, like just feel so comfortable instantly. Sometimes you see guys like a little down a little bit. They're newer in the NFL. It's a big stage. You know who he reminds me of a little bit with this confidence?
Who is that?
Is Sauce Gardner is a rookie, like first year in the league. Just every time he was around a camera, every time he was on a mic, he was just extremely confident, and he would let it know, like he wanted it to be known that he was the best there is, and I want to win a Super Bowl. I want to be the best in the league. I want to do this. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know if it reminds, like all he thinks about is football and how good he can be. That literally all he wants to do is win football games. They asked him all those questions, and he just brought every single one back to football somehow, some way. It was unbelievable. Like I love Terrion Arnold instantly. I love him instantly.
Well, and to speak on what you just said, I agree with your point about his personality to Sauce, and that's that's all good corners. There's some corners that are more reserved, but to play corner in the NFL, you have to play with the utmost confidence. You have to believe you can guard anything, anywhere. That's just how it goes to be elite at that position.
Think about some of these elite corners. Richard Sherman,
another one,
confident.
Michael Crabtree, he called his ass out.
Yeah, they're great video, by the way. Just there's all these corners that are great. They're just confident, and some people, they talk. No, they're just confident. I love hearing Terrion. Very first interview at the practice facility, and that's the comments that he makes. I'm in on this guy, and I'm in on Rakestraw to go over there, and those guys mixing it up already.
And there's I see this comment, Ryan Slay, like Slay more reserved. Good dude. They're all good dudes, but Slade isn't really a trash talker. He just goes out there and handles business. But look at him.
He'll talk though.
If he's talked to first, he will.
Yeah,
for sure. But like he's not going to start it. But it's not like you have to be. I mean, there is. I see Bonjay. I get not CJGJ. I get some confidence. CJGJ. This is where I disagree with you, Bonjay. I think CJGJ had confidence. He did, but it got to the point where he was kind of crossing. And correct me if I'm wrong, Boone. In your opinion, he was crossing that arrogance line a little bit to where the confidence was getting a little arrogant at times.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think the Lions like that necessarily. Not that he wasn't great in Detroit, but again, he's had success in the NFL. Obviously he's played at a high level, but I do think Terrion won't cross that arrogance line. He'll always just be confident and be who he is.
Dude, there's the confidence, and then there's like the disrespectful confidence when you start. And I think there's like that, like you said, the arrogant side of thing. And I think that's like type of disrespectful confidence. So yeah, no, I'm glad Terrion, he is the way he is. Dude, as soon as they drafted him, he walked on the stage, I instantly could tell, this is going to be a guy in the NFL. He might, I don't know, right away. I mean, it's going to be tough right away in the NFL. Obviously he's not going to be CB1 instantly, and he's going to go through some struggles, and things are going to happen with him throughout the year because he's a rookie. But in the next couple of years, I keep tweeting it out. I think he's going to be an all-pro. That confidence, when you see that out of a corner, dude, that confidence gives me a bunch of, high hopes for him.
And then you have Rakestraw on the other side of him. And Rakestraw is very intriguing to me, because he was a projected first rounder, dealt with some injuries. And I was reading a little bit on, he didn't participate too much in today's rookie minicamp. He was just, he participated. It's not like he was hurt, but still there is some quite. I would, at least I'll speak for myself here. I don't have like any sources or anything like that, and there are some things like the combine. He was hurt.
Yep.
So in terms of him being healthy, that's probably what I'm most intrigued. Like, hey, can he stay healthy? And on top of that, dude, people forget how good he was coming out of high school. He was a 4 or 5-star recruit, and he could have went to Alabama, but he chose Missouri. Like, this isn't some scrub. Like, this is a guy who was highly touted. Like, he could have went pretty much anywhere he wanted. And I know he's had some ups and downs at Missouri, but he was the CB1 on one of the best defenses in the SEC and in college football. So I'm excited for him too, man. I wonder. I don't know. AG might be like, hey, this guy's good. We got to find a way to get him on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious if he cracks that into the lineup this year, and I wonder how they use him. If unless there's an injury, of course. But besides that, do you play him in the slot? I mean,
that's where I was going to go a little bit to where it's if he ends up. That's going to be the most interesting part to me is with Rakestraw, because I don't know where you're at with this and where the people are at with this with Terrion. I do think Terrion's going to get that CB2 spot, and he's going to he's going to be, again, I've said it before, he's going to be a guy where it's going to be hard to keep him off the field. He's like coming out of Bama and the Saban tree and all of that, just like Brian Branch. So that's where I take Terrion and I go, okay, he might struggle a little bit, and rookies do struggle a lot in the secondary when it comes to coming in, especially like a corner. But if it's okay, you can't take Terrion off the field. Now it comes to Amik Robertson and Ennis Rakestraw. So it's all right. That's going to be a battle there. But if Rakestraw can go in the slot and you can start finding a spot for him to stay on the field, as good as he is, the talent he has, again, like this was a guy to where if he probably wasn't injured, Jeff, he goes in the first round potentially. If he doesn't have injury issues, he's a first round corner. So you got a guy like that at a steal. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Brad loves to get injured players. There's a reason, because he gets the value out of them to where if they do work out, you have a guy that was a round one talent and you got him at the back end of the second round. So if he ends up working out, that's just an absolutely talented guy, especially if he could stay healthy. And it's going to turn out to where these two guys, I think in the next year or two, we can't keep these guys off the field. And you're going to see the Carlton Davis, Rakestraw, and Terrion Arnold show, in my opinion, when it comes, in the slot and the two corners. So that's where I think that's what's going to end up happening. That would be my prediction.
Yeah, and I was going to bring up Amik Robertson. I see Ryan already kind of got to me. He says, when Branch moves to safety and sets and need a nickel, it will be Rakestraw. Amik is CB3. He's better on the outside. He has a ton of experience playing on the outside. I'm curious if Amik, now with the cornerback room you have, is if he can be someone that can play some slot because of how good he is in the run game. Like, he is a dude, can tackle. He can rush the passer. He can do a lot. He's very versatile. He's like a little Swiss Army knife. I'm curious if they put him at nickel too, because like, I know you assume like, okay, Carlton Davis and Terrion are your 1 and 2 corners, and then they got to find a way to get Rakestraw on the field. It's like, what if AG's like, hey, I love Amik Robertson. We got to find a way to get him on the field. And do you prefer Branch in the slot? Do you want to put him at safety? Do you like Kirby? Maybe you're running dime packages and you have a bunch of DBs out there. I mean, that's something AG is going to have to figure out.
Jeff,
got a lot of DBs, man.
If we're talking about this, adding a third guy out there when it comes to these corners, you have to move Brian Branch. Who are you flopping out with Brian Branch?
Yeah. I mean,
you see what I'm saying? Like Kirby and Iffy and Brian Branch. Are you trying to take one out?
If I'm being real, I don't know how this is gonna.
I know who you're gonna say, and I think I might agree with you.
Who you say it?
No, you say it.
Kirby Joseph.
No, actually.
Who would you take out?
I was gonna say if I had to guess of a guy who might get less snaps, I think it would be Iffy.
No way.
And I'm not saying as of right now, Iffy is gonna be on the field. What I'm saying is, I think all three are really like elite players. Like, they're all so good, so you can't take them off. The only thing with me is the thing with Iffy is we saw the smaller sample size out of all of those three guys. That's it. It's that sample size. Yes. Now, if Iffy continues to do what he did in that sample size into this year, you cannot take Iffy off the field.
No, you can't.
You cannot. The way he played those last 6, 7, 8 games, that end of stretch, Iffy has to be on the field. But we saw that stretch of football before that we didn't see much. So if you have Iffy and Brian Branch back there, Kirby was a little less. Is it like that? He took the step back.
I'm just saying. And by the way, this is what Kirby is. He is not a lockdown safety. That's not what he is. He's a ball hawk. He's
Yes.
a turnover creator. That's what he does. But with that, with gambling, you know about it, Boone. With gambling, there's risks. You're not going to
Get
win
beat a lot. You get beat.
You get beat sometimes.
Give up plays.
And if he's not really if he's got more versatility, I mean, he's obviously big, but I think if he's better in coverage, Kirby's a better ball hawk. But I think when you're looking at what they each bring to the table, not saying that Kirby's gonna we're not even discussing he's not getting benched or anything. But if you had to pick one,
take snaps back.
Yeah, you'd probably pick some Kirby in different packages.
I hope people didn't take my Iffy comment as bad with Iffy because, again, if he played the way he did the last handful of the games,
you gotta put him on the field.
He was one of the best in the league. Like the stats and the analytics show that he was one of the best safeties in the league through that stretch of football.
Mm-hmm.
But again, to my point, it's if you're looking at it, if he continues to do that, you're locked in on Iffy. But if there's any regression at all, because he did only have that sample size, it was a smaller sample size. Like Kirby was the last 2 seasons. You saw 2 full seasons. For Iffy, you saw a 6, 7, 8 game span. So that's my spiel with it. Because you're not taking Brian Branch off the field. I guess it's like who has the hot hand between Kirby and Iffy. I don't know how, but Iffy that stretch of football, man. When he was playing his best football, he was elite.
Yeah, even Ryan, he says Kirby between the 20s and Iffy and Branch in the red zone if Rakestraw's balling. Yeah, I'm with you, Ryan. I think that would be Kirby. I mean, that's what you need Kirby for, between the 20s. Yeah. Like these plays that, Aaron Rodgers knows about it before he left the
Do you know what it comes down to? Aaron Glenn, 0 excuse going forward. 0 excuse.
Yeah.
You have so many guys back there. You were going to have to find a way. Like,
if this pass rush can live up to just be, I don't even want to say it's got to be like above average. Hopefully, I don't know if it will.
Yeah,
that secondary's got to be good, Boone. Like, I'm with you. He doesn't really
have so many guys, and think about this: Emmanuel Mosley's going to be back from injury, and I know he's coming off 2 ACLs.
E-man,
but you do have to think when he was healthy a couple years ago, he was really good too. So you just have like one of the deepest corner rooms in the NFL when guys are healthy. Now, if you move Branch to safety, you have 4 safeties there. You have an elite safety room. You're just you have no excuse in the secondary now. And I don't think, to be honest, like the way Hutch was playing last year and the way like Aleem was playing, and now you have DJ Reader and you added Davin. I don't think you're going to have a shortage of pass rush because you were getting the pass rush. It was just secondary was getting cooked at times, and your defensive line wasn't finishing.
I think Hutchinson's last 5 games, he had 8 sacks.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
He had, and I know people hate pressures. I saw something that he had the second most pressures since I don't even know, of all time in a season or something, or in the last 20 years. He had the second most ever in a season. Like TJ Watt has never had more pressures as Aiden Hutchinson had this year. So he's getting there. It's just about finishing. And I think if that secondary can hold up a little longer, maybe, you're able to get a couple more sacks out of that as well.
Well, let's play the clip here of and this. I want to make sure I give the proper credit. Maybe Jenna Trotman, Easy put it out, and I'm going to play it, but I want to make sure we give credit. I hate just playing clips.
Let's say Jenna Trotman for now.
Yeah, it looks like a
lot
news.
Out there.
Yeah, it looks like a news broadcast, but we'll play this. This is Terran Arnold talking about his confidence in Booner. This got me fired up. Check this out. Here, I'll put it on the screen. All right, let's hear from Terran Arnold.
But at the same time, just my competitiveness that grows up in my whole family. Even as a kid, when I used to beat my mom in racing, I had to genuinely beat her. When we used to fight, when I was younger, just wrestling with her or playing around, man, I'll never forget. One time my mom kicked my tooth out because we were just going at it so hard. So if my mom was out here right now and she lined up across me as a receiver, I would jam her into the dirt. That's just that's my mindset. And my mom knows that right now. Well, that comes from my mom and my aunt.
Look, what are we?
It's crazy.
That's the mentality. That right there.
All he knows is winning.
Man said if my mom was lined up right out here, I'd jam her into the dirt.
Yep.
And she knows it. But
that's the mentality we have on the Booner Path.
Yeah.
That's the mentality we all have. The whole chat right now, all of the listeners, that's all of our mentalities.
If mom wants the smoke, she can get it. That's what he's saying. And I absolutely love that. And he said she kicked his tooth out. Yeah, I mean that again, that goes back to the mentality that corners play with. It's confidence, and like Tiger Town just said, this guy has confidence I've never seen. Well, there has been guys that have had confidence too, man. I mean,
This is good confidence.
You know who?
This
You
is
know who?
good
The one that
confidence.
comes to mind. One of my favorite players of all time. Obviously, my favorite player is Kelvin.
Yeah.
But my 1A 1B is Prime, and he is like the epitome of like a DB confidence. Like that dude talks, walks. He has swagger. I mean, that's like the extreme level of swagger, but like still, but look at him. He backed it up, and I think Terrion will as well.
And
I don't
everything
think he'll be prime. I'm not saying he'll be prime. That's like one of the best, if not the best defensive player behind LT. But yeah, he's got that type of swagger, man. He does.
Yeah, I mean that's a
that gold jacket.
Point. That dude, how many times did he bring that up? Is the gold jacket?
Yeah, he did.
Super Bowl and gold jacket. When you hear that, how many Super Bowls did Dion win?
He won. Let's see. He
Two
won
in Dallas.
Yeah, he won some in Dallas. Let me.
All I care about is he at least won one. When you have that confidence, man, like you're gonna win football games and you're gonna take over games and you're gonna dominate and it's gonna be very, very two. So it's gonna be very clear. I mean, Brian Branch has this confidence. This is just like Bama confidence. I feel like J-Mo is as much as like we don't hear from him a ton and he's a little more quieter. You know, he still has like when you hear him talk in these press conferences, he has the confidence as well. I want to see Terrion. I want week 1 to be here right now because I want to see what Terrion does. Oh man.
And that's what I think is going to only help J-Mo is the DBs. Like you remember the clip we posted on our socials of J-Mo burning, I think it was Cam Sutton or somebody.
Cam Sutton, yep.
Like
shocker.
That's where I was going. It's great Klotz appearance there. Like at least he's got more competition in training camp. Like this is going to only make him better. You're going to have better corners to face. Like all the wide receivers. Amon-Ra too. Even though he's open every play anyway. But
I put in my notes. The only thing I cannot wait to see this summer is I want to see Terrion at one point lined up across Amon-Ra St. Brown. J-Mo. These receivers. I want to see this man matching up with these guys, and I want to see who wins these battles.
I think J-Mo and him played. No, actually, I don't think he did.
Played it and Bama together? They would have, yes. For J-Mo's
he was there his
year.
last 2 seasons? Last season in Alabama.
J-Mo? Terrion played 3 years at Bama. J-Mo played his last year was.
I don't know if they crossed paths. Maybe the chat knows that already.
I'm 80% sure that last year where J-Mo got hurt in the national championship game, I would have to say Terrion was there because that was 3 years ago. So I think that would have been his freshman year.
Yeah, because he got there. J-Mo. Oh yeah, J-Mo. Yep. His first year, he didn't play. Terrion didn't play yet. And he didn't play. He was a redshirt. He just sat his first year.
And then I think that next year, I believe, is when he played. But then I think he got benched at one point, and then came back. And then this last year, he went absolutely bananas.
Yeah, so he knew J-Mo, but I'm sure he was a safety, but still, I'm sure they were familiar with each other. So
yeah, same with Jameer.
He knows Branch. Certainly, he definitely knows Branch.
Gibbs too,
and Gibbs. Yep,
Gibbs. He played with Gibbs. I mean, we just have a Bama team. Shout out Nick Saban at this point. Nick Saban's going to help us win a Super Bowl, essentially. That's what's happening right now. That's the mentality, dude. These guys, like the thing, have you ever heard the stories of Bama and Saban and like how he trains the guys and how he mentally helps them out and like gets them prepared for everything? It's unbelievable. It's insane.
Yeah, I think it's there's a couple programs you can kind of point to for that, but that's why Brad loves Alabama guys. It's no surprise. Like those guys are NFL ready.
Yeah. Are you good, Classy?
I think so. We've been good for about 2 minutes now. Usually that's the sign.
What up, Klotz?
How are we, fellas? Chat, how are we?
Klotz, I made a decision. By the way, I made a decision. I'm going to throw it out there now. If you bring up
Kyron brought up. I can't.
I will leave the show for the night. I will click the X button. I'm gone. I'm not doing it. I woke up this morning. If people want to know real quick, I woke up this morning at 6:30 in the morning to start work. I had 175 messages from these two arguing about Kyron Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs. We're not
Jeff
doing
and
it.
I were arguing at like 2 a.m. last night. I was going to bed and I was just like, I still couldn't believe me because we all have a group chat and Adam's in it. And Adam said Saquon was better than Kyron, and I had to leave. I had to leave the chat.
I just waking up to 175 texts. done. I'm done with this argument. That's when an
I am
argument
too.
gets cut off from
I literally woke up this morning and I had to go for a run. Like my run, I usually push it towards the PM so I can enjoy the like nice weather and stuff. But I had to run right away because I was tense. I was literally tense from arguing.
Let this Kyron guy really get to you. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Weak-minded over there.
You know how I feel about it. I think Saquon's a better back.
All right, no, we're not doing this.
Well,
We're not
yeah,
doing
well,
this.
hey.
Jeff, we're getting it going again.
No, we won't.
Said, I only brought it up to say we're not doing it because I knew
All
it
right,
would
that's
get brought
fair.
up at a point.
That's
I'll be
fair.
the
All right, well,
mediator.
you mentioned how you're going to need Terrion to eventually win the Super Bowl. You're also, hopefully, maybe if you win one this year, to run it back, you're going to need the 6'8", 350 specimen out of British Columbia, Giovani Manu. You're going to need him. We're going to get to Vaki in a second, Klotz, because I got some videos from him and some things he said. I think you're going to like what Ray Agnew said about him, and I'm curious what you think. But we'll get to this clip of Giovani Manu, or Gio Manu, excuse me, just walking around. All right, look, this dude. This is the only player we're going to just watch walk.
Don't start it yet. Don't start it. Oh, never mind.
Why?
I would just like
now.
him just that stance at that size is just unbelievable.
What?
Grabbing his junk right.
Yo,
Just
why?
squatting.
Were you like this? What are you?
Go all the way to the front, the beginning.
Lead from the
Yeah,
front.
look at. I mean, that dude is what 6'9", 6'10", 6'7". I don't even know.
Yeah,
And he's just,
Booner,
6'8",
Booner was
boom.
like, "Yo, pause it, pause it, pause it, pause it on him bending over." No, I'm just kidding. This is
I mean, I wanted to pause it earlier. Jeff paused when he's grabbing.
Quick note, too, boys. I don't know if you talked about it already, but the practice uniforms, everything just looks so much cleaner. The blue face
Way
mask,
better.
even the
Way
white ones
better.
when Terrion was wearing them, like I was just like, oh my god, these look so much better. It makes me so much more
Fellas.
excited to see the new actual game uniforms.
Yeah,
Look at the
I mean,
fellas.
look at this
Oh,
guy.
dude.
Just in to me, this is the most intriguing pick. I don't even know if he's going to be good or not, but you can't deny the situation he's in, and just look how big this man is. He is no gut.
Dude,
You say that
I'm
every time. Every time you bring
There's
him up.
no gut.
6'8", no gut?
Usually, there's something like you're 350. There's got to be something.
It's
Like,
just fucking genetics, man. That's all it is. Like that's like God given.
in the important part, he also, and that was Jenna Trotman for that footage, by the way. So
Shout out Jenna Trotman.
And but here's Danny Rogers. She recorded a clip of him talking about his mindset. It's kind of quiet. I'll give you guys Hank going to
Turn
get
it
him
up all the way.
right.
This is like Alex Pereira. That's what it reminded me of. It's just like Alex Pereira, where it's just like it's just strictly business.
Yeah.
There's not
Yeah,
even
we saw
emotion.
it.
There's not even
Yeah.
emotion. It's just like I'm here for one reason.
Well, let's listen, and I'll see if I can. It's kind of quiet, but we'll try
Everyone
it.
that's listening, turn your mics up all the way.
Every day. Again, my family and my will to just get better every day. And one thing about me is that I refuse to get outworked by my peers, my opponents. So that's one thing I carry myself. The way I look at it is that if someone outworks me, it stops me from feeding my family. And my family means everything to me. So if you're stopping me from feeding my family, that's just going to add more fuel to my fire. So that's just the way I approach this. Again, my family.
Oh my god,
Dude, I think he was like getting emotional there.
Yeah,
I
think he was.
This guy's gonna be
well,
a Hall of Famer.
I'll give you some backstory. So that footage was from Danny Rogers. Janet Trotman put out on X, and she in a tweet said, "Listening to this man's story, Manu said he got up this morning at 4 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep because he was so excited for minicamp. He sat on the back row of the bus to the Lions facility because he was emotional and tearing up about his journey to the NFL." So like you got, there's the context. Like, yeah, he was emotional. And he seems just nervous. I mean, like he should be. I mean, it's a big, he's in the NFL, man. Like shit got real.
He's going to get a gold jacket. He's going to end up he's going to take over like he's in like 3 or 4 years when Taylor Decker retires.
I hope so.
Manu's going to take over that spot, and he's going to be there with Panay for like 6 years, and they're going to be like the best tackle duo in the NFL at some point. And it's going to be a dominant force. Like a dominant force. With that mindset.
I hope you're right, Booner. I hope you're right. That's just
fellas, think about that mindset.
Hey, gold jacket with no gut.
Yeah, no gut. Even at 55, we'll have no gut.
When you're sitting there and you're like working at something and your motivation is the guy across from me is taking food off of my family's plate.
It's like
Do you know, like,
Goggins.
do you remember? You know how like Waterboy just kept seeing like pictures of people that yelled at him and made fun of him. Like that's like what Manu thinks. Like he's like sees the Waterboy and like someone on the other side of the ball being like, "Water sucks," and it's just like, ugh.
Dude, yeah, that guy. It's the gold jacket comment. You know what? That
You're supposed to be in on that with me, Jeff. I just think if someone has a mentality like that, like, dude, I've worked with a lot of people, guys like you, Jeff, and Klotzy. Like, I've seen people with mindsets to where you manifest things and you put things out there and you go out and chase them. I've done that my whole life. Like, I know people who are like that. When someone like who has that athleticism and that skill has a mindset to where it's nothing's going to stand in my way, I'm going to get it done, it gets done. And that's like, and especially when you're surrounded by a guy like Penei Sewell and Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, you're going to get the job done. I don't see how he fails in the NFL. And it might take 2 or 3 years and he might have to sit on the back
my
end.
thing is with your statement, Booner, is there's a difference between not failing in the NFL and being a gold jacket, like
I don't care, dude.
Guy, like a Jonathan Ogden. Like that's just
gold jacket might have been too much.
But what I'll take away from your comments and where we can split bread is I think when you have that mindset, it's hard not to pan out in the NFL. Now the thing is, he's 6'8", he's gonna struggle. You can already kind of tell just especially with his confidence as far as getting under like the correct pad level and adjusting to the speed. So there's definitely gonna be some rawness there. I mean, even in the interview, him talking to the media, it was raw. Like you can tell, like that was just not a situation he was used to being in. So the NFL field is going to be even more like that. But seeing
I'll walk back to gold jacket a little bit, but I'll say this guy, he's going to be an absolute dog in this league.
I hope so. But watching that interview, it makes me want him to succeed probably more than anybody in this class, just because you can tell that he just understands what this moment is. A lot of the guys, like, and it's not a knock against him whatsoever, but like the Terrion Arnolds, he was playing at Bama. Like that's damn near NFL type of coverage, and just the significance of being the number one team in the SEC outside of Georgia. So there's a lot of pressure with playing at that. Manu, he's playing in British Columbia. There's a big difference with that. But to your
That's
point,
why you give him a couple
around
years.
Dan Campbell, if you're with Penei Sewell, with your Hank Fraley, that it's going to be much easier to adapt to that regardless compared to the different situations around the NFL.
That's why, Klotzy, give him a couple years, because Taylor Decker's your tackle for, he might sign an extension. But when Taylor Decker's going to retire at some point, or he's going to have to step away, guess what? You have a backup plan. Taylor Decker isn't young anymore. Shout out Taylor Decker, too. Great guy.
Yeah, Taylor Decker is, I would probably say, an in-between top 10 to 15 tackle. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And you have him, you're going to have him for 3 or 4 more years.
But if Manu can just be that, he doesn't have to be like a top 5 but just top 10, maybe top 15, they'll be okay. And he's probably going to play right, because he'll probably play right guard or play guard and then kick out to right tackle. And then you obviously are paying Penei Sewell to be your left tackle eventually at some point. That's why you made him the highest paid tackle in the game. You're not paying him to be right tackle, even though he's really good. But, dude, Penei could play either tackle.
Penei's going to switch over when Taylor's done.
As he should. I mean, he should be covering Jared's blind side. Like that's what he should be doing eventually.
Again,
but
I think Decker gets extended too. Decker will be extended. It might be like a 2-year deal, but he will. Like he has this year, and he's done. He will have an extension. I'm not saying he's taking his job like tomorrow. I remember when we talked about it when he got drafted, and people made some comments like, "Oh, Booner, we have Taylor. Taylor Decker's your guy here." But if you want to keep the best offensive line in the NFL, some of these guys, their age, if you look at the ages, at some point, like Frank Ragnow with the injury, at some point he's going to retire.
Yeah, and I think with Manu too, like he doesn't, like, kind of to what Jeff's point was saying, he doesn't have to be an all-pro tackle. I think even for this team, if he turns into, I know Graham's kind of like a center guard combo, but Manu, he's going to start at guard and not try to transition to tackle. If he can just be like a Graham Glasgow of a guard tackle so that he can plug into whichever spot for this team, I think in the 3rd round, that's great value too. So if he's just not a jag, but if he's just a starter for this team and you can plug him into at depth at other positions, he's living up to all that value.
Yeah, and I want to transition here because Sione Vaki, about this news, and we'll bring in Michael Gentry, our guy BMG here. We'll bring him into the program, and he could join us for the Sione Vaki talk. What's going on, Mike?
What's up, boys?
How are we?
How we doing?
Gentry, I'm waiting one of these days for you to show up with the mustache again, dude.
All right. Monday.
Surprise us though. One day, just surprise us out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Don't
Pull
tell.
up with the handlebar on Monday.
Oh, dude.
right.
The
I think I
handlebar
can
would
make
be
that
The
happen.
handlebar.
it would for sure be a statement.
That'd be awesome.
I want to bring it because again, Ray Agnew spoke on Sione Vaki and he had a quote that I thought just absolutely stood out. I want to play some footage here from that Easy clipped.
Real quick, are you going Sione Vaki real quick? Because I just have a question about your guy, Manu.
All right, let's stay on it. What do you got?
Because there was the notes in there that talked about him playing guard and then as well tackle. And do you guys think that that's going to be like a first off thing? Like, where are you guys at with that?
What do you mean first off?
Like right away, because he's gonna have to get reps and like getting the reps, like what's gonna be best for him. And that was I think Ragnu was the one that came out and said today, yeah, he's gonna end up this year. He's gonna be training at guard and he's gonna get put in those positions a lot this year.
So
which is interesting. Like the doc said.
Yeah, no, and you're right. Reisman put out Ray Agnew, the assistant GM or basically Brad's right hand man. He said that Manu will cross train at guard and tackle. That's their plan for him. So he's going to train him to be a guard. Like I think what John said, like you said, what the doc said, he's going to train at right guard and then eventually kick out to right tackle. I think that makes the most sense there.
So he can get on that side because he has been on the left side, which it is like, if you think about it, if you're pushing off on the left side, it's a lot probably like getting used to the right is so much more different.
Oh yeah.
It's like throwing a basketball or shooting a basketball one way and then having to like switch to the other way and like, whoa, get comfortable doing that.
Hit him with the Ragnu.
That's what you should call him from now on.
Ragnu?
Ragnu.
Dude, I'm so bad with names. Who was the name that I messed up a couple weeks ago that was on the Lions? One of the guys that are like undrafted. I saw him on the name list today.
Morris Norris or something like that. Maurice Norris.
Maurice Norris. I called him Morris Norris.
I'm
like bad with names if you guys didn't know.
Kind of like that one.
Morris Norris, dude. I think that's like a great WWE name.
Yeah, that's like a cartoon character name.
That'd be a dude with a handlebar mustache for sure.
Yeah. Ragnu. Did I say Ragnu?
Like,
yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, you were just talking so quick you didn't even realize.
That's like a disguise name. Like, yeah, Morris Norris, you have a fake mustache or something like that. That ain't a real name, bro. I'm gonna play this. It's a Sione Vaki talking to the media. I think again, this is from Jenna Trotman. Watch it. We're butchering the credentials here, but here, there's a whole. Okay, I love ETN, man. All right, let's play this. Just look at Sione Vaki. He's just fired up. Look at this guy. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, well, if you throw your mind to the dirt, you're a pretty tough competitor. So yeah, that's probably something I got to learn from him. Yeah, well, if you throw your mind,
he was talking about.
I don't know what he said.
He was basically saying like, hey, if you're gonna throw your mom in the dirt, I got to learn something from him. Like talking about Terrion Arnold.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He said he's got to learn something from Terrion. I don't think he's going to have to learn much from Terrion. He's going to have to learn something from maybe Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery. Because Ragnu commented on Sione Vaki and said, quote, we see him as a running back, but we'll see what the coaches do. Lucas.
Klotz, I tried to warn you.
I don't care. I don't care how they use him. I just want to see this man on the field. I think with the ball in his hands, he's exciting to watch. I think when you watch him, he reminds me a lot of Austin Eckler with the ball in his hands. Not saying he's going to be having the role that Austin Eckler does, but when you just watch him in the early stages, he has a lot of that. So if he fills in that Craig Reynolds role, again, we like Craig Reynolds, but I think the ceiling with the intangibles that we all like to rave about with Brad Holmes, he does have that over Craig Reynolds. Now, Craig Reynolds, I don't think that Vaki just instantly goes and takes his spot. I think he's definitely got to earn it, especially what Craig does on special teams. But at the end of the day, they did trade up for this guy for a reason. I think he's going to be an instant asset on special teams, and he's probably going to be. They already kind of said it with Brad after the draft. Their plan is to put him in the running back room. So I that's what I expected, although I would love to see him used on defense in the safeties room. But I don't think he's a guy that I'm comfortable with, especially year one, playing safety, unless it's at like an emergency situation. I'd rather see him on the field than Will Harris. I'll tell you that much, just because I think he can tackle and he's more athletic than Will Harris.
Will Harris is not on the team.
Going to be. I don't think That's why I said Booner. I'm happy he's going to be out there. Instead
Okay.
of
I thought you were still insinuating that Will Harris could potentially get in.
I'm saying
Now
like
he's gone.
I'm
Get
starved
that
from
man
those
out of
things.
here.
He still wakes up at night.
I don't think Vaki's going to be outside of on special teams an impact player on offense or defense year one. I don't expect that at all.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember what Brad said a couple weeks when the draft happened? Do you guys remember that press conference about Sione Vaki, where he said if we get him in one room, like his college career, he was focused on 5 different things in different positions. If we can just get him focused on one, he had 200 and something all-purpose yards. He had another 150, 170 yards game. Like if he's just focused on one thing and one thing only and running the ball, he is going to get extremely good at that because he's never done that in his career, and he has the ceiling to do it. And I think that's Brad's vision is let's just get him in the running back room and let that man just develop and work. Like get really good at that craft in the running back room because you've seen him have those games and he's never just been a running back. He's never worked on those skills alone, like on its own. So I think he's going to end up, and he's going to play special teams too. That's no matter what. You're going to see Vaki on the special teams. He's going to be one of those guys that you just see everywhere. You're like, oh, Vaki?
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see like in preseason too. Are they just going to have him full-time running back and whatnot? Obviously, we're going to see him a lot through special teams throughout the year, but I don't think we'll actually see him too much besides like, trick plays and whatnot and special plays for him. You're obviously going to keep handing the ball to Gibbs and Monty. Those guys are still going to take the bulk of the work, but maybe in preseason he can show something like Lucas said to kind of take Craig Reynolds' spot, even though we love Craig, but he's still got to go out and show it. And like I said, I don't expect to see much out of him throughout the whole season besides special teams, and especially if they're not going to use him on the defensive end.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't say this because it doesn't apply, but they signed CJ Moore, special teamer. All right, very solid special teamer.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, very, very good. I would prefer. I get what Ray's saying because he's naturally better with the ball in his hands. But we posted that clip of him laying out Jalen Polk too. Like the dude, like you said, can lay hits. If you're talking about getting him on the field, to me, obviously he'll be playing special teams. So that's already a phase of the game itself. But it's probably going to be at safety, is it not? Like I don't know how how could you argue if you're pounding the football, if it's first down, whatever, Dave Montgomery, if it's third down or you're even in it's a pass play, you want Gibbs out there. Like that's where it's like, how do you see Sione Vaki? Like how do you?
I agree with you, but something that we don't want to talk about, but it's just going to be, it's the NFL. One of the Detroit Lions running backs is going to get hurt during the season. They're playing running back, and the Lions are a run-first team. It doesn't have to be a significant injury. It could be for a quarter, for a half. But then maybe that's where, like, okay, we really like Vaki because let's say Gibbs has to go out for a game. There's still a guy there that can break off the explosive plays. If you look at David Montgomery, now I'm not saying he's even close to the power back of David Montgomery, but Vaki is extremely tough. So if you want to replace those short yardage carries, because Vaki would also be hard to see behind the line, you can pick up those tough yardage. Maybe that's what they like. I mean, what was it? The Buccaneers? It wasn't the Buccaneers game. Which game was it where Craig Reynolds and Jameer were both out? Was it? Might have even been the Buccaneers.
David Montgomery.
Yeah. Craig Reynolds, David Montgomery and Jameer.
Tampa, right?
Yeah, that was Tampa. Craig had that block.
Yeah, correct. So it was Tampa. But like a situation like that, like there is a more chance that he will see the field at running back compared to safety, where someone even brought up in the chat, CJ Moore is going to be coming back and he's going to be in that safety room by default. You don't go on the roster as a special teams player. So I think putting him at running back year one is the best way for him to see the field.
That's what I took from it, fellas. Like they brought back CJ Moore. I'm like, he's going to play running back more. Like that's what they kind of think too. If they're signing CJ, again, the coaches are going to evaluate, but I am with you, Lucas. The injury thing. Yeah. I mean, it's true. If there's an injury, I would be much more confident. No offense to Craig Reynolds, but I'd be much more confident with Vaki than Craig Reynolds, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Do you know what it was like though? The last few years, remember last year, like when we went to training camp, when all of us went to training camp together, like there was that running back battle, that fifth spot, that fifth spot. Like we knew Craig Reynolds, but there was like 4 or 5 guys.
Jamar Jefferson.
Yeah, and who was your Ibrahim? Like there was like this battle here for that 5th spot, and no one really won it. Like they had to bring in Zonovan Knight at one point. They had to bring in a couple free agents throughout the year. Now with Sione Vaki, if you get him in there and how good he is and athletic he is and what he can do, like now you have that 5th guy solidified. You don't have to sit here and have this. And I know it's crazy to think like a running back 5 battle, but running backs get hurt. That's just inevitable in the league.
Yep.
And that happens. And then you're going to have a game to where both, two of your top 4 are going to be out, whether it's Craig Reynolds and Gibbs or D-Mont and Gibbs or D-Mont and Craig. And you're going to always have Sione Vaki. He's going to make the active roster every week, in my opinion, because he's going to be such a big special teams piece. And you're going to be able to use him and Craig Reynolds. I know they both can play special teams.
Yep.
And as well on top of that, you're going to have a 5th guy to where we know Ben Johnson's offense. He's just not sitting out here just going, we're an average. No, he has so many different game plans and plays and different scenarios that he's going to have. I bet you whether he's running back 5 or not, there's going to be some games you're going to see him get out there and have a touch, or he's going to line up in the slot. And that's just what it's going to be. The Utah game versus Washington, one of the best teams in the country, mind you that. He had like 21 he played in like 21 offensive snaps, and I believe he touched the ball like 16 of those 21 offensive snaps. Like they got him the ball, and it was not all just running the ball. He was out there catching passes. He was doing everything.
Yeah,
bro, took a screen 60 yards of the house.
Dude, think about that. Like, think about being on the field only 21 snaps and touching the ball like 16 times, or I don't know what the exact number, but it's like an insane number to where they trust you that much. If that's just your position, he's gonna be very good. And yeah, I apologize. 4th running back, not 5th. Craig's
we knew
4th running back. I apologize. But like, you see what I'm saying is you have that room now solidified. I don't even think I think I could say that right now today that Sione Vaki's running back 4. No one's gonna beat him out. No one. Like that's his spot to lose right now, in my opinion, going into training camp.
And while we're kind of on the conversation, I know outside of kicker, but bringing back CJ Moore, the Lions, and I think it will start to be a small conversation, but on how it translates to the game and for the Lions record, the Lions are going to have the best special teams unit in the NFL this year. Like their special teams room is absolutely loaded. And when you're going up against the 49ers, I said outside of kicker, Boone, outside of kicker.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Because with all these new kickoff rules, especially on the kick returners, the return teams, they're going to have so many different formations on trying to exploit that. If you have the best coverage team, it's going to help so much when you're playing the Texans, the 49ers, etc., because that's going to give the offenses longer fields, and that's going to be huge in close games. So Lions special teams unit, I know people laugh at it, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, you think about Malcolm Rodriguez, Germ, CJ Moore, Vaki. You can keep going down the line. There's going to be a lot of good players on special teams this year.
They might have the best special teams in the league. It might be up there.
I think they will. As
So
far as
many
outside
guys.
of kicker,
Kendall Vildor.
Yeah.
Some dudes.
If they bring in Jake Bates, are they number 1, Lucas?
we'll see how he translates.
He's got to kick outside. Can't just
he's got to beat out the money badger first.
Yeah, because we do have Jack Fox, legend. Of course, Adam. Of course, Adam's on the other side of this. I mean, that I could say
if they get the kicker position figured out,
if
they get the kicker position figured out, I don't think it's crazy to me. You have, I think, the best punter in the league.
Germ was all pro at special teams last year.
Yeah, and then you have Germ, who's I think you could argue he might be the best special teamers in the league. He might be one of the best. And then you have other guys
Rodriguez.
like
DJ Moore was a great special teamers before. I mean, you talk about Craig Reynolds. It's outside of the kicker, that's what made especially people laugh at it. But the Patriots, when they had elite special teams, when they were a defensive team, it helped them out so much.
Yeah.
Jack Fox. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think he's the best punter. So, I mean, they'll be up there. Okay, fine. If you don't want to give him number 1, top 5, they'll be one of the best special teams units in the league. How about that?
And Dave Phipps really good too. He's one of the best.
He is.
Yeah, he's one of the best special team coordinators in the league.
Real quick, shout out to Mike Reed. Gifted 5 Crunch memberships to the people. So he is a real one. Honestly, I'm going to match that. I'm going to give 5 right now to some random people.
You're a rich man, Jeff.
Hopefully we can hook a ETN up. I know he was missed. He didn't get one. So I just gave out 5 and he didn't get one. So yeah. Sorry, ETN. But there you go. 5 more we're matching Mike's. That shout out to him, man, for giving to people there. But yeah, I'm curious what the game what Vaki can do, man. I don't, not that anyone wants injuries to happen, but I just want to see. He could have a moment like he had. Was that USC? He played like that. He had that game. Was that USC?
He had 4 or 5 games. The USC, he had that nasty angle route in the Yeah, that vision to just cut it to the
Booner
pylon.
gifted 5 more.
Why don't we start a little train here, boys? Who's next?
People.
Pause.
Man,
Who's
and
next?
yeah, whoa.
Oh my bad. Talking about a gifting train.
Whoa.
No, I thought I saw someone do. Mike did it. Jeff
Lead
did
from
it.
the
I'll
front,
do
Boone.
it.
Lead
Who
from the
else is
front.
gonna
Yeah,
do
no.
it?
Lead from the front.
Oh, I'm missing that one.
Who's the next round on? Huh? Klotzy, it's on you.
I don't know how to do that from here.
Yeah, I
didn't
don't either,
either.
honestly.
I didn't either. I just found out though.
Look at you.
Look at that.
And ETN still didn't get one. We just gave out 50, we just gave out 15 memberships. ETN still didn't get one. Jeez,
That's
man.
so
Gotta watch
poor guy.
Apollo, bro. Gotta
Hey,
watch
lead
him.
from the front. You gotta lead from the front, bro.
Lead from the front, brother.
You just have to. I
Anakin
wanted
said that's so unlucky, bro. Dude, there's 15. We just gifted 15 subs and just never got one. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's actually kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is fucked up. Nah. Yeah, I saw Easy was in there, man. Shout out the heavyweights had Peter Bukowski, who Lions Twitter has been just absolutely ripping apart. I want to get him on the show. I've been reading to reach out to him. Just
Dude, he sucks.
Just because of how controversial.
Now we can't have him on, Booner.
I don't care, dude. I'll tell him to his face. I was in the heavies chat today. Usually I had to say something, dude. I had to. It was so disrespectful. That man said that if you did a draft on weapons between Green Bay and the Lions, I'm pretty sure he said after Amon-Ra St. Brown and maybe Sam Laporta or Gibbs, one of the two, he said the Green Bay Packers would have the next seven drafts. And Demont, what he said, Demont sucks. He said Jamos is going to be terrible. Like it's so disrespectful. He said we're going to win 10 games this year. I was so mad, dude.
Well, we'll get into some of those comments. I see people. You started the train. That train, different train. You started
Crunch Time Boys need canceled.
Oh my gosh, that is that.
Hey Booner, you in?
Potentially, I'll have to think about it, but potentially, yeah. I've told myself I'll never do one of those boxing matches, but
no wrestling, Boone, like WWE
wrestling.
style.
I don't know, maybe yeah. Well, that's all fake, so maybe I'll do that.
Whoa,
I can't remember how yoked he was on the show today, so I'll have to go back and make sure I'm not putting myself in a bad position over here.
Well, you just gotta have confidence, Boone. He's not Giovani Manu.
He still sucks, dude. His takes are terrible.
This man went to a Justin Bieber song to explain how he's feeling. That's where he went immediately. Damn it, ETN. But it is true. I feel bad. Hey, send me your Venmo. We have it.
Well, it's I think it's like $3 for a thing. We'll get one.
We got to get this man.
By the end of the show, when people keep gifting, if ETN doesn't have one, we'll get it.
Oh no.
In my couple years of doing this, this is something I was not trained on how to properly handle. I don't.
The game is advancing in front of our eyes. Joe.
Yeah, okay.
This is like the RPO of names.
Do I not? I don't.
I'm so lost right now, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, the man donated $2. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do. He said his name was Cocksnot. I don't know if that makes it better. I mean, that's Jesus. All right, we're done. We get. Oh no.
Shout out Rut.
Shout out Rut.
Yeah, shout out Rut. Shout out Rut.
All right, Peter.
Normal guy.
All right,
I'm
Peter.
so lost, boys. I don't know what we're even laughing at anymore.
Okay. I'm not going to explain it. So, Peter.
You can't explain it.
Peter said a lot of shit. All right, but I do appreciate a different opinion, but sometimes the opinion can still be complete just dog shit. And that you know what? And Peter, he is entitled to it, but I disagree. This tweet is probably one of the better tweets that he has. I mean, like that opinions. I still disagree with this. But to what he said, I mean, the 10 games thing was awful. I think he called J-Mo a bust. I'm pretty sure he's called J-Mo a bust. We got to get him.
I don't like him, man.
He's on lockdown.
We could probably ease him. We could probably easily get him on. I guess
but
we can do it.
Peter's the host of Locked On Packers, and he tweeted this out. The biggest differentiator between the Packers and Lions to me is Green Bay has a pathway to answers where they have the biggest questions. That's not true for Detroit, who have no depth at wide receiver or pass rush with no obvious way on the roster to fix that. What?
I mean,
I'm trying to understand what he's saying. The big differentiator between the Packers and the Lions to me is Green. I'm just reading it out loud so I can understand. As a pathway to answer.
He essentially, remember what I was saying about the receiving room in regards to the depth? I think he especially when I tuned into the heavyweights, his argument is you guys lost Josh Reynolds and you didn't replace him. You replaced him with J-Mo. So about a couple weeks ago when I had that issue to where I was like questioning, he's just like I think it's okay to question it and say, hey, like, yeah, we haven't really seen that much out of J-Mo or DPJ yet. And you're kind of backing and leaning on that, which was my argument a couple weeks ago. And Klotz, meet you as well a little bit. But what he's doing is he's taking it to an extreme level, saying, and I heard him say this on the heavyweights, that he thinks that this is going to be a regression year for the Detroit Lions. He thinks D-Mont isn't that great of a running back, and he thinks he's just an average guy. Okay. And he says he doesn't think J-Mo can take that step. He doesn't think DPJ can do that. He said Khalif is just an average guy, even though, all the receivers on the Packers all get about 500 yards a year. Khalif Raymond averages like 500 yards a year the last 3 years. So he just took it to an extreme level, being like, since Josh Reynolds left and you didn't replace it, you're done. Your offense is over. Just because you had top 5 offense the last 2 years, you're over with. That's essentially what he's saying. Like, I think it's okay. Like, if he would have taken the route to say, hey, receiving room is maybe a little questionable. You guys didn't really fill that void, it feels like to me. You guys you're still going to be really good. You have all those weapons in Ben Johnson. He took the route to saying, no, this offense is going to suck this year. It's going to be regress. You don't have all the weapons outside of Amon-Ra and Laporta. And I think he had said at one point he would rather have the Packers tight end core over Sam Laporta or something. I don't know. He said he thinks that Tucker Kraft is going to turn into something great because of his yards after. He says like his yards after a catch are unbelievable.
Oh my god!
It was just, you have to go back and watch it. It's unbelievable.
I will, but just I don't
took it to a different level. It was obviously a slappy take from a Packers guy.
Just so we can all kind of piece apart. I think just the main thing I take from this is just, are we forgetting about the offensive line, and that's where everything starts? To get the running backs going, you still have to have an offensive line. And I'm pretty sure if you look at the Lions offensive line, it's top 2 in the NFL, and it's not 2. If you look at the Packers offensive line, they got Eldon Jenkins, and now they're hoping for Jordan Morgan, who I think was a reach in the first round, to develop into a left tackle. But Jordan Love is not going to be protected. Josh Jacobs, he's a good running back, but he's not going behind this beast of an offensive line, so he's just going to have a huge jump this year. And for the receivers to get the ball, Jordan Love has to be protected. So, yeah, the Packers have great wide receiver depth, but they don't have an Amon-Ra St. Brown. They could have great tight end depth, but they don't have a Sam Laporta. But take it, fellas.
No, I kind of agree to the certain extent as far as the edge rusher goes. I mean, I don't think any Lions fan could say they're like overconfident about the position. But the Josh Reynolds shit, it just needs to stop, man. We're talking like this guy's the end-all, be-all, replaceable or irreplaceable wide receiver. He's hit 600 yards twice. Yes, I get the chemistry he had with Goff, but you give DPJ or another wide receiver that certain amount of time, they're going to gain just as much chemistry. Josh Reynolds is not the end-all, be-all, and the wide receivers will be fine. But the defensive edge, I mean, I could get that. I don't think, Lucas, we've talked about it. I'm not too confident in Davenport and whatnot.
My stance.
Like, there is still some question marks around that position, so I can get it from that standpoint. But I'm just so over the Josh Reynolds shit. We talk about this man like he's a fucking superstar. Like, it's so over this.
Gentry's like not the type of guy. He's always like, no, we need to he's always talking about like Monty. Like, we need to be thankful for Monty. Like, he's so underappreciated, but he's spot on about Reynolds. Great to have, but it's not like
Monty, a Jag. Oh my God! Then what is AJ Dillon? What has he been all these years? Has Monty? Oh my God, I cannot. Monty, a fucking Jag.
If Monty is a Jag, then AJ Dillon's a plumber. I mean, like, if we're going off like that saying that JJ Redick used, Yeah, like and to be fair, I think AJ Dillon is not that bad. But if you're doing that, then what the hell is AJ Dillon? Like to your point,
AJ Dillon
like,
was straight ass all of last year.
He
Damn near didn't want to bring him back.
Again, boys, I'm gonna stand on this. I'm the receiver situation. I've been the one that's questioned. All right, what are we doing in that room? And DPJ and J-Mo. Yes, that is a question mark. That is a question mark. I'll die on that. You did lose your number 2 wide receiver. I'm going to sit there. But the fact that this guy's saying, hey, this is going to be a regression offense. They're not going to be top 5 this year. They're going to take a big step back. They're only going to win 10 games because of just the loss of a Josh Reynolds. And he feels like they didn't address the need. That's wrong. That's just wrong. That's dead wrong.
Yep.
And I'm a guy that's been on that train.
Where he's coming from, I think, is he's like looking at the Packers wide receiver core, and he's like, all right, where is this better than the Lions wide receiver core? And it's depth. The Lions don't really have depth. But when you're in a run-first offense who has Sam Laporta, who can be an 1,000-yard tight end, and you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, you don't need that much outside of those guys. If Jameson Williams can get 700-800 yards, the offense will not miss a beat, and I think he's fully capable of that. So I just think that's the leverage he's using. It's like the Packers have better depth, but the Lions have the upper end talent. I think that kind of counters everything and balances it out when you still have depth there. Like, we're not going to act like, to Booner's point, to Gentry's point, to Jeff's point, Khalif Raymond isn't a bum. Donovan Peoples-Jones, yes, he's not a world beater, but he's not a bum. He's not a guy that's going to go get you 1,000 yards. But if you need to play him a game, he can go get you 50 yards. And I don't think there's any reason to panic about the Lions' weapons on the offensive side. But like Gentry said, I am 1,000% still. It's red flags all over the defensive end room, and it starts with Matthew Betts and it finishes at Marcus Davenport. I don't think there's anything that I'm confident in outside Vaden Hutchinson and the Lions defensive end room.
And that's embarrassing.
Real quick, I want to appreciate Rudd, who also gifted a Crunch member, and then Christina for becoming a Crunch member. We appreciate you
Jeff.
two there. I want to, and then I also want to read this. 501st Legion, thank you for the $5. Says, outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, we haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver. Sam Laporta is the closest, and he's a tight end, and we still got what we got, or we still got where we got, meaning the championship game.
I want to throw this out there real quick with this guy as well, because I did watch this whole interview, and it was just I was boiling. I've never been so mad. The thing is, it's like he was going at J-Mo saying, "Oh, J-Mo only had 350 yards last year. How many catches did he have? 27, I think." Or 24 catches, and he's like going at him and then turning around, and he's going to sit there and be like, I would take Tucker Kraft over him. Guess what? Tucker Kraft, let's just compare some stats here real quick. And if he comes on if he comes here and does this, I'll do this. He's sitting there. If we did a draft with weapons on these two teams, give me Tucker Kraft all day over Jameson Williams and David Montgomery. Tucker Kraft mac and cheese. What a bum. This is the stats comparison. Jameson Williams, 12 games, 354 yards and 24 catches. Tucker Kraft, this guy's God, 17 games, so 5 more games, only 7 more catches and 355 yards. He only had, 1 more yard than Jameson Williams in 5 more games? And you're taking him over J-Mo. And you're taking him over J-Mo. Kraft cheese looking.
Okay. All right. Let me.
Am I wrong? He's just he only got 150 yards. Dude, you didn't watch.
I want to hear Jeff. Hold on, Boone. I want to hear Jeff. I want to hear Jeff. Hold on.
I agree. I agree. I would take J-Mo over Tucker Kraft. You shitting me?
Okay.
Yeah. But I think I just want to make sure we get things clear. All right. Because we are, in case Packers people do view this, I understand Tucker Kraft. He didn't play to like the last 5 games. He was playing, but he never got any targets.
Don't even care. That's because he's trash.
But you're still right. Like I would still take J-Mo based on potential talent, what he can do, how he changes games. I mean, what he could do not only the pass game but the run game. He is an absolute weapon, and I don't think Peter understands that. I don't think Peter's familiar with his game. I don't think so
because he doesn't watch football.
I thought you were gonna go American Psycho and say Tucker Kraft, like he's a sleeper. Did you see when Musgrave went down?
Hey, very fine, not very fine, very okay tight end. I'm not even getting the very fine.
He's Brock Wright level, and that's fine. That's fine. It's not a diss.
I agree with that. He's probably Brock Wright, a little better than Brock Wright, but it's like, what are we doing here? Like, it's just, J-Mo, I think, has a lot of potential. Still has to prove it. I understand that, and I actually don't hate if people from other fan bases look at J-Mo and they're like, what? I don't see it.
I can understand it, yeah. I just think where I start crossing the line is when they start like going at his
I don't
talent.
know. We were back.
You know what I mean? Like he can't work out. When they write him off and like don't take factor in a situation. It's fair if you want to call him a bust so far. Like I understand it. It's just if you see it from a Lions fan perspective and you support him, then it's different.
This guy's obviously just using the Lions fans to get clicks. This is, I mean, if you watch football and have watched Lions,
I kind of want to do this with other fan bases too.
Unbelievable,
I think
dude.
that'd be
It's
hilarious.
to me, it's embarrassing. I don't even want him on our show. Doesn't deserve for us to give him any views. He doesn't deserve that.
I just like how
so
when we lose
embarrassing,
Josh
dude.
Reynolds, we lost all our depth at wide receiver. Like there it goes out the window. No depth. Josh Reynolds is gone. Someone call someone. Like,
and then it's the same people that were like clamoring for Chase Cota and Dylan Drummond to make the roster last year and act like it can't happen again.
What about Tom Kennedy?
See, I'm over the Tom Kennedy thing, but I still think you can find like dude from Illinois. What's his name? Isaiah Williams.
Isaiah Williams, dog too, by the way. Was supposed to be a 5th round pick.
Like if they're just like, yeah, you know what? We still need a wide receiver. We got Traquan on the practice squad too. Let's fight it out between these two. Like I'm fine with it. Like because going back to it's just like the most important thing I think when you're talking about wide receiver 5 and 6 is being able to do your job, and that starts with knowing the playbook and one of the most complicated offenses in the NFL. Because if at that point, if you're out there, you're probably not getting the ball. Like they're probably running the ball 3 times before they think about throwing it to you once. And it's not a diss, but it's just like get the best player of the ball, and you're not the best player in that case.
Hey, you know what? I want people to know I'm okay over here. I'm very passionate about the Booner path. This isn't a the Booner path isn't the Booner path isn't a bit. It's not a bit. This is real. I love the people. I love the line. I'm passionate.
Is that the doc?
The doc. Shout out Buzz at a bar, baby.
Love the doc, man. Doc. By the way, check out all Lions people for all your if you want to get the best up to date, most recent Lions news. Please go support John Macker and the doc. He is crushing it. That's how I catch up on all my my news regarding the Detroit Lions. I'll sit there. I'll go on all Lions. I'll be like, all right, what did John and Christian? What did those guys put out today? So please support.
Can we put a challenge out to the doc? Can we challenge him to send us a video of him taking a shot for the Friday night show? He's out at a bar. Friday night show, Doc. I put a chance.
Well, he had a birthday party. He had a birthday party. I had to attend.
That's what I say. I challenge him at the bar to send a video of to the boys of him taking a shot. Just boom.
Send a video of what he's drinking. What do you think
Friday.
he's drinking?
I want him to take a shot.
What do you think he's drinking? That's the real.
What
question.
A legend.
Yeah, that's the question that people want to know. We love John, dude. He's an integral part. He's an integral part of the show. He says all the site. Yep, go check out all Lions. Everything's on there. John,
I love his profile picture.
Yeah, it's still Adam from back in the day. It's a legend.
So funny, dude.
He said 24 in Van Dyke. Oh wait,
that's close.
I don't want him to bring up where he's at. I know that area.
Yeah, don't throw it out there, Doc. People are gonna start showing up.
Doc's flock to Doc.
It's like you can't leave the place. It's just like this paparazzi everywhere.
He said espresso or martini too and a Corona. What a martini? Doc's getting dangerous with the martinis, not the martinis. Hey, by the way, we gotta revisit. I think Lucas, you said this and I missed it, but I went back and watched and he said it. And now it like pissed me off now, so I'm addressing it now.
Here we go.
Wow. All right.
It was about the Antoine Green thing. You're like, dude was basically competing. Which, to be fair, you were right. But competing with Chase Cota and Dylan Drummond. I should have been like, and he won. He won that bet.
Yeah, but what the fuck are we talking about? Like, we're acting
not on that level.
Like, oh, here's a gold star. Like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I hope you would. Like, you were drafted. Those guys were not. And I know it's still a 7th round pick, but there's a reason why.
Hey, Jamar Jefferson eventually was cut too.
Guys,
7th round picks don't always make the roster.
What are we doing?
Klotzy. Antoine is like the Broderick Martin thing. He had his year to develop. This year, if he's nothing, then we can move on.
No, like Antoine, like it's not even like, oh, Antoine just a fucking bum. Like I think Antoine has a higher floor than Broderick Martin does as a defensive tackle, but it's just one of those things where I don't see Antoine ever being an impact player for this team. Like he's never gonna be like do you guys remember the season that Antoine Green had? It will never have that. Like maybe he'll have like a
your
Kennedy
ceilings.
moment.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's you have some weird ceilings. If I'm being honest.
I said floor, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, floor. Okay, I thought you were talking about ceilings. I thought you said he had a higher
floor.
ceiling than Broderick. I was like,
No, floor.
He's like,
I
"Dude,
think
you got
because
some weird
Antoine's at least got
feelings."
like the X build. You know what I mean? At least you can put him on the
I think
outside. Broderick
That is fair.
losing some weight. So again, that makes
Mhm.
me happy. Like I
Trail
said,
limbs. Mhm.
he's getting away from the Levi route. I have more faith in him than Levi, but still a lot to prove with Broderick.
At
Booner.
least he doesn't have a almost
What's up?
career-ending back injury.
What was it? I missed it. Hey, thank you, Donkey Kong. That motivates us even more to go win a Super Bowl. And when we win a Super Bowl, you won't be able to enjoy it like we will. Booner Path, baby.
Spoken from the leader.
Yeah.
Klotzy, you're an executive, man. We don't take that.
I'm the marketing manager, Boone.
Now Adam's in on this. Adam's gonna end up. How do I delete comments? Adam's. I can delete.
Oh
that,
no,
Adam.
no,
Don't
propaganda.
do that, Booner. It's
I
all
can
fair
delete-
game.
I can
That's trying to
delete.
change the narrative.
I can delete Adam comments. That's the only
Booner.
person in the chat I can
We
delete.
don't do cancel culture on here,
We
Boone.
don't
No,
do that.
Adam. With Adam, I
Cancel
do.
culture.
With Adam, I do. I can do
Hey,
that with
real
Adam.
quick, we're gonna transition here. Alex Anzalone. I can't believe we're playing this, but we're playing it. Alex Anzalone posted a training video. He was putting in work, and he's in his 8th year, I think. 8th year in the NFL. Coming off a couple, I think his best seasons of his career in Detroit. Here, he's clearly been their captain, leader of the defense. Let's check out Anzalone. Look at this man.
Bro's working.
Just working. Let's play what he let's play him working out. All right. Let's see what he's up to. We'll discuss the linebacker room.
Frame right now.
Yeah, I mean he's putting in work. I think it's copyrighted actually, so we can't play
Yeah,
that.
for
We can't
sure.
play it,
Definitely mute it.
but here, you Anzalone, man. Look at Anzo. For people that are listening, it's just
There we
him.
go.
It's training his ass.
There we
off.
go, Anzo.
What an edit.
And Lucas
Yeah.
sent this and said, "Put it in the prep."
Thor, man.
I did because I think how Gentry talks about Demont, and I'm not saying that like it's not correct or anything like that. That's how I feel with Anzalone with this defense. Like I feel like people just instantly go over. Like last year, they were saying like CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's the heart of this defense. Like look at him talk. Like Aiden Hutchinson, the heart of this defense. And that's not taking anything away from Hutch, but I think the motor of this defense is Alex Anzalone. He runs around the field at 1,000 fucking miles an hour. He's able to guard most tight ends and running back out of the backfield and tackle them as well. And I think he's just an extremely smart player who wears that green dot for a reason. And he's definitely somebody that plays with a chip on his shoulder. So I think a huge year out of Anzo is coming. And that doesn't take away from Jack Campbell, though. I think both of them can get better. I just think people are writing Jack Campbell over Anzo by default. It's like, no way.
No,
way.
Klotzy, I think there's two, as some people would say, two things can be right in this situation. Jack Campbell this year can end up getting better than Anzo just because he I think, has a higher ceiling than Anzo.
Yeah.
And I think that actually happens. I think Campbell takes over that number one spot just as his skill set and everything he has. Anzo still, no matter what, in the next couple of years, will be the captain of that defense, will be the green dot, will be the leader, will be the heart of that defense just because of who he is. He's been in the building. He's a vet. He was in New Orleans with AG and Dan. Like, that's like Alex Anzalone and the steps that he's taken for the last 2 or 3 years in his career to get better and better and better. Like, you could have made arguments that I think at some points that he could end up being a Pro Bowler just because of how hard he goes and the numbers he can put up. I think last year he was in the conversation to be a Pro Bowler and then hurt his hand and had that injury and had to sit out a game or two. So I do think that, to be honest. I'm with you fully on that because I've had those conversations in the old place. I've done rankings of most underrated players on the Lions, most impactful players on the Lions. Alex Anzalone has always been on my list with those. I think he is a massive piece to this Lions' success. And even if Jack Campbell gets better than him, which I think he will, I think Anzo's still like that. He's going to be a captain every year. He's still going to have the green dot. He's still going to be the leader, the vocal piece of that whole defense too. So I'm all in. I'm with you, Lucas. I'm with you.
I don't know. I think in terms of this linebacker room, I think Anzalone as a veteran would be your leader, your captain. But I think the best linebacker this year is going to be Jack Campbell.
I want to say, but it sounds like I'm dissing Jack Campbell. But I just think if Anzo plays, like if Jack Campbell develops into what we want in year 2, I think it will look a lot like what Anzo did last year. And so maybe Anzo does level off a little bit, but I think he's going to get a little bit better. I think it's just by default, just with his hunger and everything. So it's one of those things where I think Jack maybe gets to Anzo level. And I could be wrong, but I don't think he's going to overtake him this year. But I still think if he goes from last year to Anzo level, that's a big jump. Maybe Alex Anzalone 3 years ago, okay, that's concerning. But Alex Anzalone, how he's been playing in Detroit, is completely different.
Yeah. And we talked about it on the pregame show. And Jeff, I want to bring up a comment and then in a second, and then you go off. But I was like one of the more critical people on Anzo going into the season, and he totally proved me wrong. He just was consistent, and like all the things that Booner said, him being a leader in the locker room, I think he's just going to continue to keep getting better and whatnot. And he's been putting in the work. But Jeff, I wanted your thoughts on this, because this came through while you were talking.
So here's the thing with Jack Campbell. I don't think he's going to be a bust. I'm not. I wasn't at the time, especially. I wasn't a huge fan initially of the pick, but the more I started to realize, like, okay, you look at what he was in college. He was the best linebacker in the draft. They wanted someone to take over after Anzalone. I don't think he's going to be a bust, and I'll tell you why. When you look at the winners in college football of the Butkus Award, and that's really what I try to base a lot of it off of, and what he was in college. You look at the all-time greats at linebacker that have won the Butkus Award. It's not 100% hit rate, but usually linebackers that have won that award go on to be successful players in the NFL. And I do think that's going to be the case with Jack Campbell when you look at his size, his intelligence, his really the speed he plays the game, his game speed. There's a lot of things I look forward to. His tackling. I mean, you looked at last year, the thing we brought about Anzalone is he can cover. That's one thing I do. Not one thing. I like a lot of things about Anzalone, but one thing that
jumps out,
yes, is his coverage. Absolutely. One thing with Jack Campbell, his tackling. You know, on the year, how many missed tackles Jack had? Jack Campbell. So just to give you an idea, Anzalone had 23 missed tackles on the year. Obviously, he played 300-400 more snaps, but Jack Campbell on the year had 8 missed tackles. 8. Mm-hmm. So he's a hell of a tackler. I think he's good. He's good in coverage. He showed that in college. I think that'll translate into the NFL. But he's also good against the run and rushing the passer. I mean, he's 6'5", 250, 260. There's a lot of upside there. So he'll be a complete linebacker. Again, Lucas, maybe you're right. Maybe he doesn't show all of it this year. He gets significantly better. But the next 2 years, let's say, he should be the best linebacker on the team. So
I think it'll
be a bust, boys. I don't. The more the game slows down, he's only going to get better. In my opinion.
I think it'll stay till where Brad always talks about. It's like that third year, and I think the third year of Jack Campbell is when he'll be peaking. And something that kind of worked against him his rookie year, as far as you look at the production. But Jack Campbell this year had to play in a lot of weird spots that they didn't draft him to do. Early on, they put him on the edge, even in the NFC Championship game, because they did have the Broderick Martin, Levi Onwuzurike, Benito Jones. They had Jack Campbell lined up in the A-gap trying to get pressure on Brock Purdy on 3rd and 4, which then led to a 20-yard gain by Brock Purdy. So how are you really want your Jack Campbell, your rookie middle linebacker, blitzing the A-gap against a center and a guard getting a double team? Like, that's not going to work. Now, when you talk about it in year 3, the fact he had to go through those situations and being kind of placed in a situation he wasn't used to, that's going to help him so much. So Jack Campbell, there were a lot of things where you're like, what the hell with Jack Campbell? But he was playing in a spot he hasn't played in before at the highest level. So those things are going to help him down the road. I think he is going to be a guy that ends up being able to do everything you want him to from a coverage standpoint and from stopping the run. So year 3, Jack Campbell, I think, is going to be one of the better linebackers in the league. It's hard for me not to, just going back to what you said, Jeff, as far as what he did in college, Butkus Award winner. Those guys, extremely high floors. When we talk about linebackers, there's not like 10 standout linebackers in the NFL. So can he be a top 10 linebacker in the NFL one day? I think absolutely.
You want to go through? Let's do a little exercise. Let's look at who's won the Butkus Award. 2023 was Peyton Wilson, who I'm high on. I think you are too, Lucas. Yeah, I think he's going to be really
Luke Kuechly. I don't care what anybody says. If I hear Luke Kuechly hype up a linebacker, I'm going to listen to it.
And so Peyton Wilson, he dropped to like the 3rd round, didn't he?
I think even the 4th, maybe. It might be right.
He was like a
Steelers
mid-round
might have got
pick.
themselves a steal.
So we'll go through. So Peyton Wilson won it last year. Jack Campbell won it the year prior. Kobe Dean won it. That's fair. Jeremiah Owosu Koamoa won it in 2020. And I like him as a linebacker too. Isaiah Williams won it. Devin White won it. Roquan Smith won it in 2017, the year prior to Devin White. Reuben Foster, Jalen Smith, Eric Kendrick, CJ Mosley, Monte Teo. I get put in college.
Hey,
Luke Kuechly, Von Miller. You look at Patrick Willis. There's a lot of good linebackers here. So I think for the most part, that's why when you is it everything? No, but you combine that with the tape, with what he did and what all the intangibles, there's a lot of upside there. I hope.
Real quick, because I'd like to get your opinion on this too, Booner. My expectations on this, and it's because he's another white guy, but no, it's not. When I look at Jack Campbell, I expect him to be what Leighton Vander Esch was when he was Leighton Vander Esch before all the injuries. Like when him and Jalen Smith were just balling. That's what I expect Jack Campbell to be. So year 3 Leighton Vander Esch, I think is what you get with year 3 Jack Campbell, but I don't expect the injuries with it.
Are you coming to me? I had stats. No, I got stats I want to throw out. I get what you're saying. I agree with you. I just had stats. That's all I was going to say. I went out and got some data here.
What's it? Well, give me the data.
I went in my flannel bag. I was just on PFF.
Shout out flannel.
I know. I'm just looking at the stats last year, guys, and I think it's just like the numbers. Sometimes it's you can look in the field and say, yeah, this is what happens. But I think, okay, let's look at the numbers a little bit. What was Jack doing? Jeff, you brought up the missed tackles, and Jack Campbell has signs of being in the league. Even last year, he only played I'm just going to break this down. Him and Alex Anzalone. Let's compare them for a second. Defensive snaps. I'm not talking special teams. Defensive snaps. Alex Anzalone, 1,189 snaps on the defensive side of the ball. Jack Campbell, 745. That is 440 more snaps. Anzo played in 440 more snaps on the defensive side of the ball. Guess what their tackle difference was? 129 to 95. It was a 34 tackle difference and 440 more defensive snaps. 440 defensive snaps. And it's only 32 more tackles. Jack Campbell this year, and you have to think he came on late. They started giving him snaps late. That man's going to be in this year instantly, and he's going to get so many more snaps. And this is going to be one of those years where he takes a big jump. I do think I feel like we've laid out the last 20 minutes a pretty big sample size of why Jack Campbell is about to make this massive jump. And I think it's going to shock a lot of people around the league.
Well done, Boone. Look at Boone. And that's the tackles, man, with Jack. He's going to be. He's not gonna be. He is a tackling machine in the sample size he played. So that's just it. That's just what it is. Frank says Alex Anzalone is the man on defense. Don't compare him to Jack Campbell. Put somebody else that.
No, it's gonna be Anzo and Jack Campbell. I just gave you the stats, Frank.
Crazy.
I just gave you the stats, Frank.
I don't get that.
He played in 440 more snaps.
Whoa. I missed this. I'm sorry. What are you not getting, Lucas? What did Booner say?
No. I'm just saying.
Just talking about Frank.
Enzo.
I understand. There was parts where Jack Campbell struggled as a rookie, but I don't think you can look at Jack Campbell that guy's not a good football player. I think if you just watch him,
rookie,
he kind of jumps off the film a little bit sometimes during the game. Now there are moments, like I said, where he struggles. But he's playing out of position a lot this year. And that struggles for him to just transition to the position they wanted him to play that Mike spot. So it's going to be hard for him, but I think he's a player that's going to work out for sure with this.
Do you guys remember when James Houston went down in that Sam position and Jack's never played
that
bro.
Before? That's where
in his whole life. He's never played that. And they were like, hey, Jack, we really need you to do this because we're down a guy. And that was when he started getting his snaps in the whole season. Put this in perspective. As a rookie, if you play your position that you're used to playing your whole college career, if you play that, it's already a tough transition to be able to learn and adapt to the NFL, especially as a linebacker, one of the tougher positions to transition to the NFL. So to be able to do that, but to be out of position at the Sam spot and you've never played it in your whole career, something you've never done before, and to say, hey, we need you to do this in the NFL right away as a rookie, and you go out there and get 90, you're only 30 tackles away from leading the team in tackles. You're 5 tackles away from having 100 tackles in your first year in the NFL. What are we talking about here? Has Derek Barnes ever hit that mark? Oh, wait a second. How many snaps has Derek Barnes had? And Jack Campbell had more tackles than him this year. What are we doing?
Okay.
Shout out Derek Barnes, though, for game-winning catch to seal the deal to go to the NFC Championship game. I'll credit him for that.
Yeah, I think Barnes is now he's not bad, but he's just you drafted Jack to eventually replace one of those linebackers. Like I think Barnes is like a good depth linebacker, like he can provide something, but he's not like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Barnes has more growth. But we'll see. Because like you said, Booner, the way he but the way he played in the playoffs, at least against the Bucks, to end the game, like that's a hell of a jump from him, recognizing that. So, yeah, I mean, Apollo says it's unfortunate he was drafted so high at 18.
Barnes had more snaps than Jack Campbell on defense last year. That's a fact. Just looked it up.
Yeah, and by the way, he was drafted again. Brad has talked about this, right? Like he loves a player who's going to take him. So like PFF stuff or where he's projected doesn't matter. He was the best linebacker in the class. He got taken in the first round. We had Dustin Evely, who that Packers guy. I do like Dustin. He's a good guy, and I know we didn't agree with what he said, but still a good dude. He said he doesn't believe in drafting linebackers in the first round or running backs.
Wasn't there talk last year as well that Jack was going to get taken if the Lions didn't take him?
Okay.
Lucas?
Please tell me that wasn't on the air.
No.
I hope the people didn't.
That wasn't me. All right.
I hope the people didn't do that.
Dude, I was that.
Klotzy, bro.
Klotzy.
That thing was cooking.
Klotzy.
What the hell was that?
I was like, I think I gotta go to the bathroom. I was like, no, I'm good. I was like, oh.
What?
I actually gave her a fart. That was just a good one. That a good one. Thought I'd share with the people.
Then you put me on the camera, like
I didn't do that. No, I did not.
Bro started spitting about Derek Barnes, and
we should clip that for the sound.
Why was that like a directly in the mic? Dude?
I mean, because he stood up. He purposely did it. Did you not see him in the back? He stood up and put his
got up. I was like, I don't need to go. I was like, yeah, might as well share with the people.
I immediately looked at Booner too, and he just looked so disgusted. And
I mean,
I thought it was him at first.
No.
Steve says I thought it was a sound effect.
Nah, that was good.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna quickly pivot here.
Yeah.
We're gonna quickly pivot. I thank God we're not in the studio yet, because we would be in the presence of whatever that was. All right. The Lions, they put out this clip of the rookies having some fun here. I want to play this before we get to mailbag. So get those.
Come on, brother.
My fault, Boone.
Wait, what?
I mean, that was unbelievable.
I
didn't think it would be like loud enough for the people to hear. I really didn't.
Shut up and put your butt in the mic. I watched you.
It might not look like it,
dude. You lifted your leg up and put your leg.
I got up. I was like, oh, I don't feel good.
You were fully turned around.
That's exactly what I did. I was like,
oh. All right. If you're gonna,
what the fuck are we doing?
If you're gonna go all in on it, at least don't lie about it and tell. Like,
Dude, I said, I was like, you know what? I was like, I might as well share it with the people, but I didn't think it was gonna be that loud. I didn't think it was gonna be like a legit like sound effect. I thought it was gonna be like a little. I didn't expect it to be all that.
For a second, I thought I did it, and I looked around like, oh no, what have I done?
It's good stuff.
I was like, what did I do?
That was some Dan Orlovsky shit.
Yeah.
Lucas, hey, that's a great performance. It's a great performance.
It sounded like a sound bite. It was like a perfect. I'm in absolute
John Murphy
soundboard.
Right,
I'm in shock how perfect that was.
All right, let's play this. Let's play this. I thought this was great. And here are the rookies. Lions posted this on their Twitter. And we'll play this, and it's basically like the text says. Describe your first NFL practice in 3 words or less. Let's hear what the rookies had to say.
NFL practice in 3 words or less.
Exciting, fun, ecstatic.
Blue collar and grit. Fun, challenging, and fast.
Keep the main thing, fundamentals.
Detailed, tiring, detailed.
Describe your first.
Okay. I like how
Exciting, fun.
I like how Manu was just like grit, blue collar.
That's hilarious.
He just looks like a different type of human, man. Manu. It's
Yeah, he's like
oh
and he's like
my
bald
God.
too.
I didn't realize he was bald.
That's what the Lions are getting, dude.
What do you mean, Boone? You posted the video of him jumping with no.
Oh yeah, I guess I just
Yeah,
didn't put it
but
together.
like I'm with him. Like I didn't think it was like that bald. Like that's like shiny
Right.
bald. Like I expected maybe
thought
have
he
like a
was
little
halfway
fade.
bald?
Like maybe he's just trying to
Oh.
like I don't know. But like there's no hair on that scalp. Zero. No, it doesn't even look like there's a
I mean, that's typically what bald is there's no hair on a scalp. I don't know. You just
my pops is bald. He's got like some little gray stubble that grows that he has to like get off, but like that's like
get off.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying, boys?
Perk says, here, I felt it here in Ohio. referencing Lucas's incident there. That is funny as shit. Ryan says, when the Packers guy comes on, play that Lucas sound effect. As soon as he comes on. He's just mid-take spitting about how Khalif Raymond won't make the roster, and you just do that shit. And he's like, what? Yeah, because it's a shit take. That's why. All right, Lucas, get him on demand, on cue. Don't worry, we'll work on it.
Skill set.
Yes, skill set. Oh, that's funny as shit. Vision Cell, thank you for the $2. Just bro, Adam, chill. Booner Pad 2024.
Thank you. Thank you, Vision. We're winning the Super Bowl. Booner Path all the way.
Hey, see, look at that. I mean, hey, you got some Booner Pads, some loyal Booner Pathers, Booner Path supporters. Even though Adam tries to, Adam was kind of hating a little bit earlier.
We're gonna face adversity, Boone. It's part of the path.
We will.
That guy up
crazy.
north,
You know what, Adam? I'm not going to get into
Booner's
that.
the same guy that said Kyron Williams is a better running back than Saquon Barkley. We can let
I'm just
gotta
not
let
gonna get
the
into
clown
it
have
with
the
Adam.
circus sometimes, Boone.
He doesn't want to be on that side of it. He's on the wrong side. He doesn't want to do that.
Let the clown have the circus, Boone.
Do we have a special visit from caller from Dallas?
No, we're
I
not
can't
taking this
talk
call
to him right
today.
now.
Phones
gotta
are
take
off.
time.
Phones are off for
Fair.
the night.
that guy up north says they tried Campbell
Not
Edge and stuff
callers.
just to see if he could. They knew all along he's capable of playing off-ball stack linebacker. Yeah, he's when he's that big. I mean, dude, 6'5". That's by the way, that is wild. How big he was and how he moves. Brent says Jordan Love is going to have a sophomore slump.
I hope. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, it'd be the best for the Packers.
I hope so. So
or
we can
excuse me,
go
best
at
for the
some people.
Lions, not best for the Packers. Best for the Lions. You
Booner's
want him
angry.
to struggle for sure.
What's going on?
Boone, you looked angry, Boone. You didn't.
I'm angry. I don't know why. It's a mixture of things.
What do you think? At least, Jesus. What do you think Jordan Love looks like his next year, Boone?
I think he's gonna. I would love to see a sophomore slump. I would love for him to have that slump this year. I don't know. I think what we saw out of him. I mean, he's got the talent. That's the thing. It's you can't deny the talent. If you just watched what he did versus Dallas, I go back to that game a lot because I'm someone who will look at stats, yes, but I also will watch the football games and I'll watch how guys play. And I vividly remember that Dallas.
What are we doing there? The fuck was that?
Hey, pay attention. You already said it.
I'm biting my nails. I'm listening.
I remember this Dallas game.
Say that. No, say what you said. Say what you just said again. Say what you just said again. So Lucas, what'd you just say? You said
I don't know. I said I pay attention to the stats a lot, and I also watch the football games and watch the games. So
this is what we're doing.
I take both into account. Are you guys gonna let me talk, or are you guys gonna keep laughing?
All right, sorry, continue.
What are we doing
This is
here?
what we're doing. All right,
what are we doing here? Now, where I was at, Dallas Cowboys game, Jordan Love, some of the throws he made, some of the plays he made on the ground and through the air. Jeff, if you don't lock in over there, I'm going to come over there. I'm going to put a you-know-what on you.
What?
This show is out of control. Show's out of control. I mean, we're done. We might mailbag. This is unbelievable. Can we lock in, boys?
Whoa! I don't.
Can we lock in? I was gonna say a beat down. I tried to save it.
You know what? You know what?
I just locked my door. I don't know what he meant. I don't know what he meant by
I was
that.
trying to. You asked me a question about Jordan Love, and the whole time you laughed while I'm talking.
Boone, I'm sorry for that. Jeff was trying to throw a cheap shot.
Oh, Booner, dude. Ryan says the train starts now. Booner kicks down the door. The train starts now.
Lead him from the front, Boone.
Oh man.
There's a comment in the chat right now. I may delete it.
No. Why? What?
Oh, no.
Are you talking about Brent? Oh, he didn't like that. Okay.
So where are we at? Are we doing mailbag or are we talking Jordan Love? I'm confused. We're doing a show here, boys.
All right.
Hey,
mailbag.
Yeah, let's.
I made a decision today too on my Instagram. I unfollowed Diddy.
He's proud of this. He told me this earlier. He's proud of this.
I didn't know I was even following him in the first place. I unfollowed him.
I don't think I'm following Diddy.
I was. Now I'm not.
Okay.
No shit, Boone.
Hey, well, good shit, Boone. I don't know why.
Apollo, dude, I was following him from, I don't know, dude. I follow a bunch of famous people. I happened to be following Diddy. I don't know why. He's a famous person. I was following him.
Why are you explaining? Is there something you want to say or
no? I was going through my Instagram and I was looking. I was following so many. Yeah, thank you, streams only. I was following a bunch of people. Diddy. Who else did I say, Klotzy? Cade McNamara.
Yeah,
gone.
That was it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Kim Kardashian gone.
Ed O'Neill.
Couple people.
Hey, shout out Ed, man. I love Ed. He says mailbag. Would Jeff ever beat the Bears fan? Bears fan allegation. Sam hasn't, so I think not. Oh, I think he's referring. Are you talking about Sam with the Chiefs? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it will, if the Caleb starts declining and you're still supporting him. If he's actually not a bust and you're just just wait on it. Just wait on it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, because that's the thing with Sam. Sam's a big Mahomes guy, but people kind of parlay that into he's a Chiefs fan, which he's not. But it comes off that way. I know it comes off.
That's like Booner with his Bills.
I'm not a. I'm Josh.
Why did Caleb have to get drafted by the Bears, man? I mean, that is the worst.
Who's your secondary team, Gentry?
Bears are not my secondary team.
Oh,
probably like the Browns.
I don't know. I was like the Ravens.
You don't want to say that. You don't want to say that, Jeff. But your heart's telling you that. Your mind's telling you no. Because if the Bears aren't good, that means Caleb's not good, and you're a fan of Caleb. That roster's stacked, so it'd be the one factor that's holding him back is Caleb Williams.
If I'm being real, I'm we cover the Lions. I want the Lions to have success. I honestly, if he sucks, I won't be. I'll be wrong. But it's better for the Lions. I can't deny it. I don't want to go the Lions. I hope they they stay second in that division or third, and Caleb takes off. I don't want to just to be right. I don't really care about that. I just like Caleb. I have always liked Caleb though. I mean, and then Ryan Poles just fleeced the Panthers and got that pick. And Boone's coming back. He's coming back here. Oh, he's locking in.
There you go, Boone.
Oh, look at
Gentry, though. Who's your secondary team?
So when I was growing up, I was like the Ravens. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. That was kind of my favorite team back then. But as of now, I've been a Bengals fan. I like Joe Burrow, and obviously the Texans. C.J. Stroud, big fan of those guys. So I probably go Bengals, Texans.
If I'm being real, I never really had a secondary team until Stafford was traded. And then I liked the Rams with Stafford. I'm not gonna lie. Call me out all you want. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Call me out all you want. I know at the time me and Adam were doing shows and we got a lot of shit for that, but I've always been a Stafford fan. So, but now it's like whatever. I mean, he got a Super Bowl. I can give a fuck at this point. I mean, it is what it
No
is.
Detroit Rams shit, but I was rooting for
No,
him
not
too.
like that. Not like that.
What?
I was not. I was praying on that man's downfall.
I love
Yeah.
I wanted them to lose that Super Bowl so bad, especially because I'm not an
Wow.
OBJ guy. Oh, I hated that game. Hurt me because I was such a Joe Burrow fan.
Yeah, I don't have a true secondary team. I never really have.
There's always just a team that I like what they do, and so like I want to see them succeed like that season. Like
I
outside
have
of the-
players. Is that
I'm not a Bills fan. I like Josh Allen. If Josh Allen went to LA, if he went to Miami, if he went to New York, I'm switching my secondary team. I'm not going to sit here and say I want the Bills to win a Super Bowl. If Josh Allen wasn't on the Bills,
No, it's
I would
never
not.
that.
I would
It's
hate
just a
they lose.
team-
I would hope they lose every game.
It's just a team you wouldn't mind seeing have some success as long as it's
Bills.
not detrimental to the Lions.
Yeah,
That's all
I would.
it is.
I would love to see Bill. I would love to see Bills Lions, and I would love the Lions to beat them by 45 points on the dot.
Fair. I love that's all right, Boone.
I think Xavier D says I am a USC. I think he meant alum, and I hope Caleb sucks. Come on, Jeff. Okay, you know what? That's a great that he is. Xavier got me there. Okay, guy's a USC alum, and he hopes he
Shout out
sucks.
him. He's got a brain, obviously.
So, yeah. Adam says mailbag. What does Booner do if the Bills when the Bills lose 11 games?
I've got a mailbag for Adam. Why is Adam so obsessed with Booner? I'm just kidding. I love Adam. They're not going to.
I was just waiting for the silence to end.
See, here's another mailbag from Adam. Can Booner? I'm shocked. It says Booner again. Oh, how many questions does he have? Oh man.
Grant asks, how many sacks will Hutch get this year, boys?
15 plus. Book it.
Did they drop a line on that
I would love for them to, but 15
I think
plus
15 sounds about
automatic.
Right. Yeah.
Over 15 automatically.
I was gonna say 14 and a half, but same fucking thing as 15. I'll say 15.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bon J, mailbag. Jeff, do you paint your nails like your favorite quarterback?
He does.
No, I'm gonna be honest, and this is just my opinion. I will never paint my nails. Okay, I know that's like a thing. I don't know. Hey, live your life. I will never paint my nails. So, no. Patty Grimes, mailbag. Jeff. Oh no, it's the same thing. Damn it! All right, there's two questions about the same thing. I didn't even read it, to be honest. Your answer. See the previous response. Papa D's mailbag. Will either of our rookie cornerbacks nuts drop this year or next? I think that means is that breakout or
That's a very odd way to put it.
I think if I'm being honest, I think it's going to be year 2 for. I think this year Terry CB2, but you're going to see a lot of mistakes and things. You're going to be like, well, he's a rookie. And I think year 2 is when you're really going to see both of those guys turn into what you know they're going to be. It is a rookie in the secondary in the NFL. You have to think about the weapons you're going up against week after week. It's hard to adjust constantly. You have 17 straight weeks of that. That's tough, especially when you get to the postseason. That's tough. But I think that Terrion will. I think he'll be fine. Fellas,
I'm with you, Boone. I think Rakestraw a little bit more of that. I could see him maybe being year 3, but that's like at an extreme. And I think just the way he plays, if they put him at nickel, that's going to be a way easier transition considering he played outside corner. I don't think that's even close to the extent of trying to do that in the NFL. So if they move him to nickel, he's going to be able to transition a lot easier.
No. Damn, Frank coming for Jeff's neck. But no, I think Terrion will obviously be cornerback 2. And I think even by the end of year 1, he could maybe be cornerback 1. But like Boone said, I think year 2 of 100%, he'll be that cornerback 1 in that room. Oh no, not the Boomer.
I think just the irony of him complimenting Booner, but it's saying Boomer.
What's Ed's super chat? I don't have it here, Ed. If you might.
I got it.
Not for me.
Jeez. Ed O'Neill, thank you for the $, brother. He says if cable goes off versus Lions, Jeff will bust. No, I won't. I will be frustrated. If the Bears beat the Lions, I'm going to be upset. All right.
Can we address a video that we got a text message of today, real quick, by any chance? Are we allowed to do that? About the
no.
No.
Because there was a lot of context there that
There was no context. I actually had the conversation with Jeff today on the phone about it, and he even said, "Yeah, not a good look."
I mean,
Not a
it's
good look for
not.
the
But
boys.
when we were arguing about, you were saying that Justin Fields couldn't throw, like he didn't have an arm.
I
And
said
that's
all around.
like-
I said all around. Justin Fields is booty cheeks, and you guys go, "Oh no, dude! It doesn't show up in the stat sheet." But what he does that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, man,
Fair.
he's a dog. And you guys, I mean, this. I just want to throw it out there.
Yeah, by the
now
way,
what is he doing?
Hey,
He's returning kicks.
It's on me. This is on me. Don't get mad at the fellas. I thought people didn't like it. That's on me. We post something on our socials. That was.
Did you remove it? Did you remove it?
No pun intended.
Did you remove it?
Yeah, I deleted it.
Okay, because I'm not gonna be. You text me it. I actually had a text typed out saying, "Do you think this is too bad?" And then I said, "Not gonna send that." Klotzy has a good idea of things. I didn't realize that we were.
Read it over with Booner. He's like, "Great post, brother." I was like, okay.
"Yeah," but then I typed after that. Literally, there was a text right underneath that I had typed out saying, "Do you think that's a bad idea?" Like, not great. And then I didn't send it.
Man.
All right,
It's different humor than other people. I understand.
Not the best, Klotzy, but we live
how
and
much
learn.
flack did we get for that? Did we get a lot of flack?
It really wasn't that bad, but it was just like if people didn't like it at that point, like it was just if the post would have done well, and as far as like engagement, it would have been a bad look if people didn't like it. Just a lot of room for slander.
It's just one of those posts where like
took the L.
You're always gonna have Sorry about that, Klotz. Forgot to send the second text.
It's all right, dude. It's all right.
And it's typed out. Didn't do it. That's on me. My bad.
That guy up north, mailbag. How many offensive players would get 1,000+ yards minus quarterback? Obviously, so
2, 3.
Oh yeah,
3. Demont, Gibbs.
Yep.
St. Brown. Oh wait, no, actually 4. Demont, Gibbs, St. Brown, Laporte.
No, not 2,000-yard backs.
We're talking about total yards. We're talking about total yards. I thought we're talking.
Oh yeah.
All purpose, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, you're probably right, Boone. I didn't go to it. I didn't think of that right away.
I thought all purpose.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right. I think maybe they could be all purpose.
Yeah, there's gonna be 4 with all purpose because I think like Demont's gonna have 8.
How much do you think he gets through the air?
100, 150 maybe, and I think he gets about 850 on the ground.
He's just making it. He's just getting there. He's crazy.
I don't think he gets it, but I'm not gonna be mad if he does. Obviously, I just don't think he does.
No, you're gonna be mad.
Hater.
No, I won't.
No,
I love Demont.
Like,
I was on the front line for Demont when we signed him against Flannel.
Yeah, no, you were. Me and you fought that man for weeks. The Jamal Williams comps. Yeah. Real quick, I'll go through Jesse's, and I'm going to get to this other question here. Mailbag. With the schedule release coming next week, would you rather have the Lions play on Christmas or overseas this year? Just think Lions football with breakfast. I would rather than play overseas. Dude.
No.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Because I think it takes away from a home game, and I think as well as you have to. I believe I could be wrong, but I believe so. And also, I do think like the travel is brutal, dude.
They're always weird ass games. Like they're never like. They never
thought of it selfishly because it's in the morning.
I think it's already been released too, the teams that are going to be overseas, and I think the Lions missed out on it this year as well. I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe that they're one of the teams that missed or who won't be doing it.
Yeah, I'd probably rather have Christmas.
I would rather have Christmas Eve, to be honest. Aren't there Christmas Eve games? I'd rather have Christmas Eve. I think there was last year. I don't know if there is this year.
Ed O'Neill, where did the Wednesday's Twitter Spaces go? Well, I don't know. Ask Adam.
Yeah, ask Adam. He's asking all those questions to us in here, huh?
Ask Adam. What happened to the Wednesdays? The Twitter. He's been busy, to be fair. But yeah, we got to get back to doing those. 935-115. He says, "Do you guys think the Lions will lose a game or two because of our lack of receiving power against a very good secondary?" I don't think that would be the reason they lose, if I'm being real.
No, yeah. It's one of those teams where it's like if they can't get success on the outside with the receivers, you can get it with Laporta and Gibbs and then running the ball. That's why I love how Ben Johnson and this offense is built. It's like, okay, stop the run. We can kill you through the air. Stop the pass. We're going to kill you on the ground. And there really wasn't any team this year that stopped the Lions run game. And so that's really all that matters.
There's only two ways the Lions lose a game, and it was the same as last year. It's turnovers. If you turn the ball, if Jared Goff turns the ball over, or the running backs, receivers are fumbling it, it's turnovers. And number two is if there's a quarterback that absolutely just tears your defense up, you can't get a pass rush to him, and the secondary struggles. Two ways. That is it. If there's like a quarterback, like a Lamar Jackson who cut you up last year, and you can't contain him, that's one of the ways. And the other way is turnovers. I don't think it's going to be lack of weapons. It's going to be lack of receivers, lack of depth in the set.
What do you mean, Booner? We lost Josh Reynolds. We have no weapons at wideout. What are we going to do?
We're fucked. Yeah,
we're so fucked. There's Josh Reynolds is gone. Holy shit!
The biggest benefit of all of it, Ben Johnson.
Hey, Coach Walks asking about trivia. It was a disaster.
Gentry goes.
If the people want it, we can do it. If people want it, we could do it. Booner was kind of shooting it down the first time we did it.
I have some. No, fellas. I had some requests with it to make it better. I had some ideas to improve it. I thought we should all have a whiteboard, and I think we all should write down the answer that we want, so we can see everyone's answers. That's all I requested.
Okay.
And then if whoever gets it right.
I did say that too, Booner. I thought that was already included when we did that. I thought everyone had that. So
yeah, the only thing I don't like
of the trivia game. To be fair,
and that's why I bring it to Gentry. I give him the ideas that I have. The only thing I don't like about trivia is if it goes to Lucas and then it goes to Jeff and then me. I think we all should put our answers up at once.
Whoever gets it first.
Not even whoever gets it first. It's just if you get it right, you get a point, and then whoever has the most points at the end wins.
And if none of us get it right, you just move on or something.
Yeah, and then because I want to see what everyone answers. You know what I mean? And if we all get it right, we should all get a point. That's how I think it should go. But CEO over there, Gentry, that's my request.
Gentry, your thoughts?
I'm not CEO. Jeff CEO. Come on now, don't do that to me.
The trivia? No,
actually the guy with
CEO of trivia. That is me. No, trivia, that's fair. That's fair.
If we're being honest too, Jeff's not CEO either. The man with the glasses over here, the Booner Pat CEO.
Technically, we have 4 CEOs.
Our struggle starts now.
The glasses are tough.
Get some glasses and you can be a CEO.
Oh, wicked.
No, like my glasses, guys, not just any glasses.
Ah, shit. You guys I got these glasses, dude. How dumb does it? I got these glasses, dude. I used to wear, and this is like 6 years old glasses. Imagine if I wore these.
Oh my gosh!
Take them off, dude. Don't
look like you're 30 now. You look like you're 30.
Do I look more intellectual with these glasses?
You look like you wear white and navy blue New Balances and go for jogs on a treadmill at 5:30 a.m. for fun.
Jeff, I'm trying to save you right now. Take the glasses off.
Just cooked his ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw these out.
Jeffrey,
certified lover boy, certified.
No. If you don't think Family Matters is one of the best tracks,
we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
I thought it was
anyway.
10:03.
That guy out north says he looked like a dumbass. All right,
he speaks the truth.
All right, I love
the stream. Like the stream too.
Yeah. We appreciate all you. Great show today. Fun Friday show, man. You guys have a great weekend. Stay safe out there.
Everyone hit like.
Yeah, get check it out. Weekend content. We got some stuff scheduled, and like I said, check out our video today. Early in the day, I went through and recap not training camp, rookie mini camp. Until Monday, from Jeff Iafrate, Booner, Lukas Klotz, Michael Gentry. Stay safe. We'll catch you Monday. Deuces.
Peace.